smoking pipe. Shockley was arrested for possession of a controlled substance with intent to deliver. I'm Marilyn Foster. Your local news at AM 1030 and FM 103.3 and always on KMAS.com.
Hi, this is Alex on KMAS Newsradio. And I'm basically here exposing this. I told you about militarization of police 20 years ago. I told you about the plan for gun confiscation. I told you about the PDDs. Now we're far down the rat hole, and they're now want to do 10-state giant drills with plain clothes, doing, quote, suspicious things, and practicing taking over local government, practicing taking out civilians, and snatch and grabs. And of course it has dual applications for overseas. But the main mission is a PSYOP.
Gillis Auto Center in Shelton. Best deals, best price, best trade, and low payments. And when you think Ford and think selection, think family-owned Gillis Auto Center with over 350 new vehicles available. And right now, Ford rebates up to $4,750 on select vehicles or 0% financing on many new models. There are no second stickers at Gillis. Our pricing is competitive with all the big city dealers. Plus, our Mason County sales tax is lower, and you get more for your trade-in at the City Center Mount Lock exit and 24/7 at GillisAutoCenter.com.
Future Hall of Famer could be out for the year. I'm ABC's Dave Packer reporting on sports. Saints quarterback Drew Brees has a torn plantar fascia on his right foot, which he suffered during Monday night's game against Detroit. Now New Orleans faces a big question.
He's willing to try to play with the pain, but is it really worth it? I think they make that decision by Friday, and there's a likelihood he may not play the rest of the regular season.
ESPN's John Clayton there. The Saints host Jacksonville Sunday. 10 Panthers were selected to the NFC Pro Bowl team as rosters were announced Tuesday. Cam Newton made his third, Josh Norman his first, and joining Norman in Hawaii, Giants receiver Odell Beckham, who also made his first. Oakland took number 1 Michigan to OT.
Forrest, yes! Bryn Forrest makes it a 5-point game with 30 seconds left in overtime.
On ESPN, it wasn't enough. Final score 99-93 Spartans. Around the nation, Xavier's off to a school's best 12-0 start.
Front rim miss. Musketeers looking to run 4-on-3. Sumner! Xavier has just seized control of this game.
On ESPN, Edmund Sumner with the big dunk, 78-70 final over Wake Forest. And Iowa State survived a scare.
Nader a three, yes! Abdul Nader from downtown with 11 seconds to go, and Iowa State in front, 81-79.
The call from Learfield Sports, they beat Cincinnati 81-79. On the ice, Rangers beat Anaheim 3-2 in a shootout, as did the Panthers 2-1 over Ottawa. And in Winnipeg,
Backlund, Ticadero, he shoots, he scored! Johnny hat trick!
On Sportsnet 960, The Fan, Johnny Gaudreau with his hat trick flames down the Jets 4-1 to the hardwood. Kobe with a big night.
15-foot fall away, good. Kobe ties his season high with 31.
On KSPN, Lakers win 111-107 over Denver. I'm Dave Packer, ABC Sports.
You guys all set up here.
Close. You're so close.
Cozy. For Newsradio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 103.3, and streaming audio and video this morning on KMAS.com. A good morning to you. Tuesday,
Wednesday.
Wednesday, the 23rd of December. My goodness gracious. Time for sports. It's 6:10. I'm Dale Hubbard. Number 3 ranked Oklahoma, and Buddy Hield scored 25 points. And number 3 Oklahoma. Well, you know the song.
My mom they just showed that at the theater in Lacey or Olympia the other day. She went and saw it. She was the only one.
Yeah.
It was singing.
She was the only one in the theater?
Yeah. Singing to her heart's content.
Wow.
Judd Dry is dead of. I love those musicals. I love those musicals. Anyways,
they cruised to a 88-60 win over the Cougs in quarterfinal round of the Diamond Head Classic in Honolulu last night. But still, at least the Cougars are over in Hawaii. They got like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's they lose to the number 3 team in the country. Yeah,
big whoop.
No big deal. Meanwhile, Andrew Andrews, the only senior on the University of Washington Husky squad that starts, 18 points, and Huskies with a home win against Seattle U, crosstown rival, 79-68 last evening. Meanwhile, coming up on the day after Christmas is the Sun Bowl, Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the Miami Hurricanes and the Washington State Cougars football teams. Miami sent 2 of their defensive players home from the Sun Bowl, one for a conduct issue and the other because he was ruled academically ineligible. There it is. Safety Jamal Carter sent back Tuesday morning, less than a day after the team got to El Paso. Interim Miami coach Larry Scott said Carter violated a team policy. No specifics. And later in the day, defensive tackle Cortell Jenkins was declared ineligible and also removed from the team's bowl activities. Both teams 8-4 play Saturday. Carter tied for 4th on the team with tackles, 48 on the season. Jenkins has made 7 starts and had 29 tackles. And so that's the latest and the greatest there. I heard in the news there that 7 Seahawks made the Pro Bowl, which they're having on January 31st this year.
Wow.
Yeah. So we'll tell you who they are at our next juncture. Did want to update you on local events that are happening sports-wise, and that is high school basketball tonight on KMAS.com. Live video coverage, Shelton boys basketball against Clover Park. Little Narrows League action for everybody. Live stream begins just before 7 p.m. with Jeff Slakey and me, Dale Hubbard. We'll be there at the Mini Dome this evening. You can also check it out on our Facebook page. Meanwhile, on the radio side of things, Gonzaga will be taking on Loyola Marymount tonight in a WCC game, and we'll begin that coverage on 103.3 and AM 1030 at 5:40 this afternoon. And that is Sports Notes for you today. Jeff Slakey has, so sliding and slipping yesterday morning under frosty conditions. Now the monsoons have arrived again.
Yeah, expect some rain, maybe even some thunderstorms now for the next couple of hours. Good morning. It's 37 and rainy right now. 41 is going to be the high today, and all told, about 2/3 of an inch of rain. Tomorrow, Christmas Eve, 41, partly cloudy, nothing. Nothing on Friday either, although chilly, 39. Saturday, more of the same. No real rain now until... I can't even imagine it would really rain on New Year's Eve there. We may see a 1/4 inch on Friday the 1st. Friday the 1st of 2016. 2016.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email or Facebook. Now, from somewhere in the wilderness of the Olympic Peninsula, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
All right, good morning to you. It's Daybreak here, KMAS, on a Wednesday, the 23rd of December, and woo-wee, we are getting into it. We got Christmas up here coming up, what, Friday or something like that?
Something like that.
You don't even know what day it is, which leads me to believe you haven't even started your shopping.
You are correct, sir. Now, I'll qualify that. I did order one thing online for Jer Bear.
Okay.
Other than that, I haven't done any shopping at all. Nothing for my kids, nothing for the grandkids, nothing for nobody.
You may find Jeff and Dale meandering the aisleways of local mercantiles today.
Frantically.
What, do you think they'll like this? I don't know. Do you think they'll like this? I don't know.
You got anything left? I'll buy it.
Oh, whatever it is. It's from the heart.
Have you ever ate at the Urban Onion?
I used to work there.
What?
I did karaoke there.
Oh, wow. We used to have our Christmas parties. Excuse me, I didn't mean to slobber all over everybody. We used to have our Christmas parties there.
What? When? Not when I was here.
Before, it was BJ, before Jeff. Way back when I first arrived here.
Below the fold on the Olympian, 42-year run ending, no new lease. So Urban Onion will close Sunday.
Wow, 42 years, I think it said, didn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Holy moly.
It's just kind of a landmark there downtown.
Owner says she couldn't come to terms on the new lease.
That's too bad.
You want to hear a urban legend about the Urban Onion?
I would love it.
Urban Onion. I had a buddy that also worked there. I did karaoke, so I didn't get too much into the actual building. But he did and worked at the restaurant. So you go down to the basement. You got to get supplies, gear. The story is how much truth to this is, but it's a great story nonetheless. There is a secret tunnel between the Urban Onion and the old Capitol, which is just right stone's throw. I mean, it's kitty corner.
You know what? I think I've heard something.
So underneath there was a brothel pass-through.
Yes.
Right under Sylvester Park.
I heard about that.
Between the Urban Onion building and the Capitol.
Now, did your buddy ever confirm or deny?
Well, I want to say that he told me that he saw a area that was bricked up that could have acted like...
The paint was a different color.
It was much like King Tut. But yeah, that's the urban legend of the Urban Onion. And get there. I mean, great food. It was always a fun place to go.
Yeah.
Good food, kind of more, I don't know, I don't want to say healthy fare, but it was a different style of breakfast menu, I guess is the best. And they had other food too.
I don't know that I've ever had breakfast there.
I think the only food I've eaten there has been breakfast. Amazing. So it couldn't come up with a new lease, and it's Sunday. I mean, it's
a big breakfast day.
Maybe Sunday night they'll close.
Maybe
you know, maybe there would be enough outrage to get something figured out. But that's scary stuff. I mean, Urban Onion, 42 years.
If you got a lot of new people moving into your neighborhood, you may want to check to see if they're the felons that all got released early.
Unforgivable error.
Over 3,000 felons released from prison.
You have more on this information on your news there?
There should be.
So basically, again, this is the top above the fold in the Olympian this morning.
Pretty big story.
A computer programming error has caused the state's prison system to unintentionally release thousands of felons earlier than the law allows. And the problem is going on for 13 years.
Yeah. Now the governor says that, hey, we should stop some of these releases until a hand calculation is done to ensure the offender is being released on the correct date.
I don't know what these people were sentenced on. You know, maybe if it was like, obviously it's not murder and things like that. Maybe I don't know. Sentencing enhancements include additional time imposed certain crimes of firearms, offenses, schools. So I'm just wondering that the victims of any one of these inmates did not go to the state and say, hey.
Well, they don't know.
They wouldn't get it. Sometimes don't people get notes saying, hey, your person's getting out?
No. And Bertha has moved after 2 years.
She wasn't down for 2 years.
Yes, she was. 6:20.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
I'm Ari Wolf with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. A team source told NFL Network's Albert Breer that Saints quarterback Drew Brees was diagnosed with a torn plantar fascia after undergoing an MRI on the right foot he injured in Monday night's loss to the Lions. Brees' status for Sunday's game against the Jaguars is unknown. On Tuesday, selections were announced for the 2016 Pro Bowl. Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers placed a league-best 10 players in the game, which will be played on Sunday, January 31st at Aloha Stadium in Honolulu, Hawaii. The New England Patriots, Seattle Seahawks, and Arizona Cardinals each had 7 players named to the Pro Bowl. This week, 2 huge showdowns on NFL Network on Thursday. Phillip Rivers and the Chargers square off against Derek Carr and the Raiders. Then on Saturday, the NFC East title is on the line when the Redskins take on the Eagles. Redskins-Eagles, Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern, only on NFL Network. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Look out in the street there. You know what you don't see? My car, because I had to sell it to pay the lawyer I hired when I got busted for drunk driving. Know what else you don't see? My girlfriend, who decided that a guy with no car and no license and no money was no fun.
Cops are out there cracking down on drunk driving all across the country, and they'll see you before you see them. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Check into cash. The cash you need today is waiting for you at checkintocash.com.
We make it quick and easy to get the money you need when you need it. Visit checkintocash.com today to apply for an online payday advance up to $700. It only takes 5 minutes to apply, and you can get extra cash in as little as 24 hours. Go to checkintocash.com to get started.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare, having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom31.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat. freedom31.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom31.com. Go to freedom31.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom31.com.
Habitat for Humanity of Mason County wants to thank their generous donors for their contributions this year and want to remind you there's more work to be done in 2016. Habitat for Humanity of Mason County will be sending out letters requesting financial support from you. Be watching for those letters to arrive in the mail and consider donating your dollars to help Habitat for Humanity's mission of providing affordable housing and home rehabilitation to those in need. Wishing you and your family the happiest of holidays. Habitat for Humanity of Mason County.
Hi, this is Terry Allen with a look at the community calendar on KMAS. Nonprofits post your events on KMAS.com. Graduation Matters Shelton is a community-wide effort to inspire, empower, and prepare youth of diverse backgrounds for graduation and beyond. The public's invited to attend the meeting at Pacific Center on Thursday, January 14th at 5:30 p.m. Check our community calendar for details. For KMAS News Radio, I'm Terry Allen.
Hi, this is Tom Davis, Concerned Citizen, and you're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Not that version, at least. All right, good morning to you. Daybreak here, KMAS, KMAS.com, AM 1030 and FM 103.3, 624. Dale found some of the players who made the Pro Bowl and, well, some of the players who didn't make the Pro Bowl.
Well, it's funny. 7 players selected for the Pro Bowl in the NFL off of the two-time NFC champs. 5 defensive players, the 2 offensive players, Tyler Lockett and Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a glaring omission, and as an alternate is Doug Baldwin.
Not even an alternate, huh?
Tied right now with 13 touchdown catches, tied for the lead this season for touchdown passes. He's had 10 in the last 4 games, joining Hall of Famer Jerry Rice as the only players ever in the history of football to do that. He's tied the Seahawks record for 4 TD receptions in a season, tied the 4, not FOUR. He's tied for TD receptions.
Right.
Okay, 13. With old Darrell Turner, the long, tall, lanky one from back in '85. Those were the years when I used to travel the country following the Seahawks. I go to Denver for a game. And
not many responsibilities back then.
Well, I was married, had kids.
What? And you still did that?
Spencer does now.
Oh, my God.
See ya. I got to go to the game. Anyway. So Cliff Averill didn't make it either. He's also an alternate. So kind of a weird deal. We'll do the whole thing for you here on the sports. But, there's more pressing news out there this morning. Jeff, Bertha's moved. She burped or something.
Where did you find this story?
I got my sources. The long.
That's what I thought I had. So tell me more, because I'm
okay. So
I can't believe that she hasn't Bertha. Tell people who Bertha is, not the lady from
the tunnel boring machine. Right. And boy, it's boring.
It has been boring for 2 years.
So time flies when you're just sitting in a hole waiting for parts. Nearly 2 years of repair work is now set. Bertha's set to restart her journey under Seattle. The tunnel was a preferred option to replace the Alaskan Way Viaduct. It was damaged, as you remember, back in the 2001 earthquake, but was delayed in December of 2013 after the machine overheated. The front of the machine had to be pulled out of an access pit to be fixed and has since been reattached. Seattle Tunnel Partners, the contractor, announced yesterday that Bertha successfully moved forward and installed a tunnel ring at the bottom of the pit, 120 feet deep, by the way. Project manager Chris Dixon says the next several hundred feet of excavation will give them the information they need to make final adjustments before tunneling under the viaduct in downtown Seattle. Dixon says after the holidays, the contractor plans to mine out of the access pit toward a maintenance stop 450 feet to the north. It's expected to reach the viaduct in March.
Gosh, 2 years.
Yeah.
That is a long time.
Yeah.
I did not remember it being that long. Well, good for Bertha, I suppose, getting things back underway here.
You bet.
Pretty interesting stuff. So that was from the 2001 earthquake, 14 years ago, huh? Well,
yeah.
Better late than never, I suppose. Jeez.
Yep. Yeah. Two stranded hikers were recovered west of Snoqualmie Pass. They found them, rescue teams did. A man and a woman called about 10:30 yesterday saying they were stuck in about 6 feet of snow near Denny Creek right off of I-90. You might have noticed where that is on your travels. They hiked about a mile and a half from the main road and then were cold and wet and feeling hypothermic and went, we might have went a little bit too far, too deep here. Rescue teams found them, brought them back to the parking lot. The sheriff's office tweeted that the hikers were properly equipped and prepared, minus snowshoes, and checking the weather report.
You got to always check the weather report.
Happy ending, said the officials, and authorities say people should refrain from backcountry hiking as winter weather conditions are making rescues very, very difficult. Carson, Washington, 3 hikers there rescued in the Panther Creek area. This is in Skamania County. Emergency radio beacon was activated Monday, and they, along with state officials, the Skamania County Sheriff's Office, and a rescue team responded on snowmobiles and found 3 men in their early 20s uninjured and in their vehicle trying to make their way out, but not very successfully.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and so the drought, hard to talk about a drought this morning with all the rain coming down, but the officials of the state now have decided to let the statewide drought declaration expire on December 31st. We'll officially be out of the drought conditions.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Local news is brought to you by Fred Holmes Tree Service. FredHolmesTreeService.com, 427-4489.
You're listening to KMAS News Radio. I'm Marilyn Foster. A zoning correction opens the door for another grow operation. Yesterday, the county commission repaired another urban boundary designation, which split the property in 2 different jurisdictions, one half in the urban growth boundary and the other outside of the urban growth boundary. With the approval to correct the boundary, the owner went on to pursue a rezone of the old Belfair Nursery property from residential 4 zoning to a mixed-use designation. This designation, along with a development agreement, would allow the investors to expand the current use to make their operation bigger and better. According to Commissioner Netherland, the investors have invested $200,000 in the property and business and will bring much-needed jobs to the county. Commissioner Jeffries was cautious with her approval as she didn't want to give the appearance of spot zoning, which ultimately restricts the use of the property for the future. Commissioner Sheldon disagreed with the other 2 commissioners, stating he didn't want a repeat of the Sells Road property owners when odors got out of control. The rezone was approved 2-0. Mason PUD3 has received its 11th consecutive international recognition for the quality and completeness of its financial reporting. PUD3 was awarded the Certificate of Excellence in Financial Reporting for its 2014 Comprehensive Annual Financial Report by the International Government Finance Officers Association of the United States and Canada. The PUD is one of only 3 public utility districts in Washington state to apply for such recognition for its financial reporting. The GFOA says the Certificate of Achievement is the highest form of recognition in the area of governmental accounting and financial reporting. Its attainment represents a significant accomplishment by a government entity and its management. In addition to the 11 consecutive GFOA awards for financial reporting, the utility's operations are inspected annually by the Washington State Auditors and have not been subject to a finding in over 36 years. A 55-year-old Belfair man was arrested and several grams of methamphetamine, prescription pills, marijuana, and nearly $1,400 in cash were seized at the Union River access area. Fish and Wildlife Officer Jay Summit initially contacted a male and female sitting in a vehicle parked at the access area that did not have a Discover Pass displayed as required. Officer Smith also noticed a glass pipe with white residue in the center console. He asked the driver, Mark Shockley, if there was anything else in the vehicle, and Shockley handed over a black bag from his seat. It contained suspected methamphetamine, small baggies, a scale, a bag of marijuana, white powder, and a glass smoking pipe. Shockley was arrested for possession of a controlled substance with intent to deliver. I'm Marilyn Foster, your local news at AM 1030 and FM 103.3, and always on KMAS.com.
I'm attorney Harold Carr. During the past 25 years, more than 8,000 people have trusted me to handle their personal injury cases. I understand how an injury can disrupt your life and cause financial hardship for you and your family. At the law firm of Harold Carr, we have 5 attorneys and 19 staff members experienced with negotiating and litigating with insurance companies. So if you feel the insurance company is not dealing with you fairly, call me, Harold Carr. Let us deal with the insurance company so you won't have to.
Car accident? Call Carr or visit us online at haroldcarrattorney.com.
Tune in all season long to NFL Insider on Westwood One. Hi, this is Mark Malone. Join me each week as we whip around the league and break down the NFL. We'll hear from today's stars and yesterday's heroes as James Lofton sits down with a fellow member of the Hall of Fame. We'll also check in with former greats Rod Woodson and Donovan McNabb to help us break down all the latest NFL news. That's NFL Insider right here.
Sunday morning at 6:30 on KMAS.
For Newsradio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 103.3 and KMAS.com on your computer there this morning, or your mobile phone, your Bluetooth, however you found us.
I don't know if you can watch us over Bluetooth. Maybe.
I don't know. 6:34 in the morning. I'm Dale Hubbard for the third time in franchise history. Seattle Seahawks have 7 named to the Pro Bowl roster, announced yesterday. 5 members of a defense that currently ranks second in the league in both points and yards allowed. Defensive end Michael Bennett, linebacker Bobby Wagner, cornerback Richard Sherman, and safeties Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor. Quarterback Russell Wilson, and rookie Tyler Lockett, who made the team as a return specialist. Defensive end Cliff Averill, receiver Doug Baldwin, kicker Steve Hauschka, running back Marshawn Lynch, and left tackle Russell Okung, all named Pro Bowl alternates. Pretty well represented right there.
Sure.
And rightfully so. Seahawks also had 7 players earn Pro Bowl honors in 1984 and again in 2005. This is Earl Thomas's 5th Pro Bowl selection in 6 years, and the 4th for Wagner and the 1st for Bennett and Lockett. 4th time in the last 5 seasons, 3 members of the secondary have earned Pro Bowl honors. By the way, I mentioned Pro Bowl takes place January 31 in Honolulu, right where the Cougars basketball team is right now. A week before the Super Bowl, of course, that means that all the Seahawks players, like every player in a postseason contender team, would prefer that this is just an honor, but not actually being available to play because you're getting ready for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's the ideal situation. By the way, the Pro Bowl will again use this unconferenced format where they kind of like, okay, choose up sides. You take that one, I take that one. They a couple of Hall of Famers. So the coaches this year, Michael Irvin and Jerry Rice.
Oh.
Now, Jerry Rice would love to.
Can he just call Doug Baldwin and say, hey,
you're going to be on my team.
Come on down here.
Yeah.
We'll put a fake jersey
I like the cut of your, what's the word? Jib, yes. Wilson enjoying a historical stretch of play right now. First quarterback in history, as we mentioned, to have 5 straight games, 3 or more touchdowns, 0 interceptions, career highs in touchdowns, 29, passing yards over 3,500. Good shot at breaking franchise records in those categories. And league passer rating right now is at the top, 111.4. Second in yards per attempt, 8.5, and his completion percentage is just under 70%. Just incredible. Just incredible. Another player that's having a great season is KJ Wright. He didn't get picked. You could go down the list. Sherman, only 2 picks this year, but in a lot of ways doing more than he's ever done. He's always getting the assignment of the toughest receiver, and he's moving around a little bit this year, and so he's doing stuff. And so, I think, by golly, the Seahawks are going to be well represented in the Pro Bowl if, in fact, any of them are there to play, but
hope they're not.
It's kind of cool to, at least now, on a kind of a yearly basis, Seattle gets well represented. There was many years there where they'd get like the token one person on the Pro Bowl. That's a quick check on sports here this morning, 6:38. Jeff has a wet forecast for today.
Sure. Light rain right now, 37. The wind out there, though, makes it feel like 30. Thunderstorms possible just before we get off the air, right around 8:45 this morning. Half inch of rain, nothing tomorrow. 41, 40 on Friday, 40 on Saturday. I think it's going to be 70 in New York City on Friday.
What?
No rain until, after today's half inch of rain. Not likely to see much accumulation till the first of the year. So that's kind of cool, actually. 6:38 and 37 right now.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email or Facebook. Now from the capital state of Washington, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
All right, good morning to you. Daybreak 6:38. KMAS got basketball tonight, both on the radio, Gonzaga, and at KMAS.com. Dale and I will be at the Mini Dome tonight for a fun matchup. Clover Park comes to town, and the boys.
The Clover Park Parkers.
I think that's who it is.
Hey, good news for you travelers out there. U.S. Highway 12 over White Pass is reopened both directions. It closed a couple of weeks ago. Rain caused a bunch of washouts and mudslides and had a lot of repair work done on the old Highway 12 there. White Pass, by the way.
Literally.
The ski area.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally white. Opens today. For snow and, for skiing and snowboarding and all those activities that we all so love so dearly. Just another choice for y'all.
Coming up next year early, Bandit. The Trans Am and Smokey and the Bandit's going to go up for auction.
Oh, no way.
I would love that car.
Man.
Undisclosed price. The car, which was sold at an auction last year, for an undisclosed price, didn't actually appear in the Burt Reynolds movies or the sequels, but it was owned by Universal as a promo car to promote the movies. 4 of those beautiful black 77 Trans Am with the gold Firebird on the front of the hood and the what is this thing?
Spoiler.
No, the spoiler's at the end. The cutout in the engine. So the engine block can breathe a little better.
Yeah.
That's what it does. It's a blower.
Yeah, a little air circulation through there and mix the air and the fuel and woohoo.
Man, what a great looking rig that would be.
They're a lot of fun, and those are hefty cars.
Trans Ams?
Yeah, I mean, they're...
With the T-top?
They're, they got some...
You don't want to mess around with a car like that.
Substance to them. Yeah, nice.
Huh.
Going
it's
up
got
for
an
auction.
8-track.
Of course it would have an 8-track. State of the art, baby, 77.
It is.
Jumped way past the 4-track.
I mean, if you're still looking for last-minute holiday gift items.
Man, I wonder what that auction item's going to be.
Well, see, they don't even know because it was sold last year. And they didn't say how much it was sold for.
Man, when they don't mention the price, it's a lot.
It is a lot.
And they're not sure they got a good deal. It is the 2015 KMAS Holiday Giveaway. We're having fun with this. We've given away certificates to Brown's Garage, Ascend Roofing, LC3, the 2nd Street Design Studio, Elma Wine Festival, and Impressions Dentistry is going to get on board with us this either tomorrow or next week for sure. So if you've got some mouth work to do here in the new year, this might be a good chance for you to check that out. So we'll be having the holiday giveaway here in just a little while. 462-1041, the number to call. Everybody now.
We got dinged hard on our music playing yesterday.
See, we pay royalties.
And YouTube.
Is anybody on YouTube listening to us this morning? We pay royalties.
Yeah.
Because we have a radio station.
So we can play all the songs that we play.
Yeah, but they don't feel as though we have the right to do that. And so then they banish us from the...
We couldn't even air the video yesterday.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Fortunately, we didn't have any guests. It was just us. We would have missed it. So I found some royalty-free Christmas music. That is... It's not even...
Well, you got the melody.
I guess.
And you have to provide your own sing-alongs here. What's this now?
This is supposed to be the 12 Days of Christmas, the funk version.
The funk version. Okay.
All right, whatever.
I missed something somewhere along the line.
All right, 6:43. So we'll take a break here shortly, and then the phone lines will be open, and we'll give away some great things all throughout the day today and tomorrow. We'll be on the air tomorrow, Christmas Eve. We're going to take Friday off, and ABC has a great program for you, retrospective of the year 2015. So that'll be good from 6 to 9 on Friday in our normal stead.
Yeah. 10 Carolina Panthers picked for the Pro Bowl.
Wow.
Including Timberline graduate Jonathan Stewart. So congratulations
to him. How's he doing?
Well, he's got a something wrong. Sprained ankle or knee or plantar fascia that's the popular one right now.
That's what Peyton has, yeah.
Yeah,
and now Drew Brees.
Yeah. And we found out that somebody else had it and was played through the whole year with it last year. I can't remember who that was. So anyway, that's the new in vogue injury right now, the plantar fasciitis. So how do you say that?
I just say
Close
plantar
enough.
fascia.
Okay.
And that kind of covers it, I suppose.
And will not be confused as a doctor.
No, I doubt it. All right. Beatles finally about to be streaming their catalog just in time for Christmas. And we mean literally just in time. The announcement this morning reveals that you'll be able to stream the Beatles beginning at 12:01 Christmas Eve. That's tomorrow, 12:01 a.m. And that's local time, meaning streaming access will roll out across the planet, east to west. An event you can track on thebeatles.com. Now, not all streaming services will get to play, however.
Pandora, where are you?
Notably absent from the 9 participating online services, Apple, Slacker, Spotify, Google, and Amazon. Oh, this is great. Billboard first reported earlier this week that the Beatles had struck the streaming deal. Do you remember?
It's a streaming deal.
It is a screaming deal. Do you remember when the Beatles were released on iTunes? What a day that was.
Yeah.
That was like a big deal.
Okay, that day they sold like 2 million songs or something that day. Just one day. It's crazy. 6:45. What are we doing right now?
Oh, we're just going to take a break and live the country life.
Live the country life. I like it.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
If you have some grassland that's been sitting idle for a while, turn out the mob. Hi, I'm Jody Hankey. Mob grazing with cattle is a strategy to improve forage species and quality as you're living the country life.
Living the country life. Ideas and inspiration for your place in the country. You can find more information on today's topic and from previous shows by visiting us online at livingthecountrylife.com. We'll return to the show after these messages.
If your chicken coop is nicer than your garage, then you may have a passion for poultry. We are looking for some innovative, creative coops just like yours. Enter our Creative Coop Photo Contest brought to you by Cargill Neutrina today. 3 lucky coop owners will each receive free Cargill Neutrina Nature-Wise all-flock feed. There are many ways to enter. You can enter up to 5 photos online at livingthecountrylife.com. Coop Contest or hashtag your Coop Photo Creative Coop Contest on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, or find us on our Facebook page at Living the Country Life. View our website to browse entries and get ideas for your own poultry palace at livingthecountrylife.com/creative coop contest. No purchase necessary. Contest ends at 8:59 p.m. Central Time on December 31st, 2015. Subject to official rules at livingthecountrylife.com/creative coop. Void or prohibited. Sponsor Meredith Corporation. Enter your coop photos today at livingthecountrylife.com/creative coop contest.
Mob grazing is defined as grazing a large number of animals on a small area for a short period of time. The result is a uniform consumption of forage and distribution of manure and urine. Uneaten forage is trampled into the soil. Science with State University, who led research on this grazing strategy. He says it's basically a more intensive approach to rotational grazing, but there's a lot of variation in how it's being applied.
We've utilized stocking densities of close to 500,000 pounds per acre and moved the cows 4 times a day, but then we've compared it to a stocking density that would be 4 times less than that, so about 120,000 pounds of beef per acre, and moved the cows once a day, and we didn't see any difference in the effects on the pastures.
From a practical side, Russell says it appears you can get by with lower stocking densities. However, he doesn't want you to confuse this with stocking rate.
I think that that's one thing that has caught people's attention with mob grazing is the thought that they are actually increasing their stocking rate and actually may have to decrease the total stocking rate of their pastures, because when you graze down the forage as close as what you do in a mob grazing situation, it actually has relatively slow regrowth.
Russell notes that mob grazing takes a longer rest period to reestablish the forage than a less intensive rotational grazing system. But he says if you have CRP acres, rented land, or land meant for recreational purposes, mob grazing may be a beneficial practice. Learn more about the concept of mob grazing at livingthecountrylife.com. I'll see you in the country.
Living the country life. Ideas and inspiration for your place in the country. You can find more information on today's topic, share your tips, and post photos by visiting us online.
Green Diamond Resource Company has been on the landscape for over 120 years here in Mason County, growing and nurturing our working forests. These forests provide the best of all worlds: clean air and water, protection for fish and wildlife, areas for hunting, fishing, and other recreation, all while growing essential wood products from lumber to paper to renewable energy. At Green Diamond, stewardship is one of our core values and our business. We're proud of our role in keeping Mason County and Washington green.
The folks at Critters Pet Store believe the holiday season is the perfect time to send warm wishes for the best that life has to offer and to say thanks for your friendship and goodwill. The holiday's best from Critters Pet Store.
KMAS News Radio believes Christmas is the best time of the year. For KMAS, it's a time for friends and family, for spreading cheer and goodwill, and for sending warmest wishes to special people like you. Merry Christmas from us at KMAS.
Hi, this is 35th District Representative Drew McEwen, and you're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
So we merge and we just become a powerhouse in the California, Oregon. Now.
Man.
They were talking about just roles and things. FTC. Federal Trade Commission, I think, of those people. So we were just talking about, end of the year's coming up, and Jerry came in, she's talking about laws, and we were talking about liquor laws. And, new laws come into effect, whatever, at the beginning of years. And we were just talking about liquor laws and wondering if there would be anything going on. I says, people go out Thursday night, Christmas Eve. Even though it's Christmas Eve, we used to do karaoke. For karaoke in Canada.
That's cool. Well, so there's always a big steak night Thursday nights, I believe, over at the LC3. We bring it up. The reason we brought the topic up is that we have $10 food certificates for the LC3. They make a mean steak up there. I'm telling you that right now. So if you'd like a $10 certificate, it's part of our holiday giveaway this season.
You don't have to use it tomorrow.
No, you can use it next week. You can use it in January. And personally, you don't even have to use it on Thursday. You can use it anytime you want. But it is a $10 food certificate. Third generation, 3.0, something. And 462-1041 if you'd like to pick up a $10 gift certificate this morning for the LC3. Just shoot us a call, and we'll get you on the list here and write up a gift certificate to have in the lobby for you at your convenience. Good morning, KMAS News Radio. Who's this?
This is Randy Netherland again.
Who?
Randy Netherland.
Oh, Randy, how are you doing, buddy?
What, man? You're just out and about this 24/7.
Well, this is I'm on my way to Hood for my second meeting of the morning.
Second meeting of the morning at 6:53. What time is it? Oh my God!
I know. So that's part of the job. You go where you're supposed to go.
Man of the people, to be sure.
That's happening into Huya 6, so I was there, and now I'm on my way to Hoodsport for a meeting they've asked me to be at.
Okay, very good. And are you? So it's pretty wet morning this morning, not slippery.
I appreciate.
Keeps there.
Yep, I will. And I'm calling this morning for that certificate to LC3. But, again, I'd like it, if you don't mind, I'd like you to give it to Turning Point.
We can do that.
Okay, Randy. But the rules are we can only give out, only one winner for the whole promotion. So, but we will get some stuff to Turning Point on your behalf. I promise you that.
Okay, well, how about this? How about if I tell the folks that the domestic shelter at Turning Point, there are 30 children going to be waking up on Christmas morning. I know I've tried to bring stockings and fill stockings for those kids. Anybody out there willing to help and bring stuff? 30 children wake up there on Christmas morning celebrating Christmas, either through domestic violence or some other issue that would have brought them there. So please keep that in mind. How about we just trade and do that instead?
That is just an awesome thing. And Randy, again, you and your family have a wonderful holiday season. We appreciate so much what you do for everyone, and you do work hard, and you're at it early. And we know that your day doesn't end early. That you're going at it until you've run out of things to do. So take a little time for you and your family. Coming up here for the holiday season.
I got to tell you, I got you. I was receiving you. This FM thing is great. I was receiving you out there in Tahuya. Yes. And I hopefully will be receiving you all the way to my destination in Hoodsport. The great thing that you've done, you've connected our communities and our county together in case any type of emergency. It's taken a long time, but somebody needs to thank you for all that work.
Well, you've just done it. Thank you very much, Randy, for that. And again, have a happy holiday, and we're looking forward to a great, bright 2016. That is for sure.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, Randy.
All right, very good.
6:55 here at KMAS, KMAS.com. Phone lines are open always at 462-1041. We love to hear from you. If you're listening on the FM in a locale that perhaps you weren't able to get the station in before, give us a call. We love to hear where you are.
Yeah, we are going to make a big. We're going to make it quite obvious that we're up in the north end. There shouldn't be of this thing is that it's Mason County together, and we share a lot of commonality, and we need to make sure that we're all blended every morning.
Oh yeah. Hi KMAS. Who are we talking to now?
It's Karen Shade.
Oh, hi, Karen. How are you?
Karen?
I'm just calling to let you know I'm in the north end of Tacoma, and I can hear you guys.
That is awesome.
So I just wanted to put a plug out there and say, hey, he can hear you everywhere.
In the north end of Tacoma.
What is
north end of Tacoma.
What does that mean, the north end of Tacoma? By the Dome?
I am
Fife?
No, by Ruston Way.
Oh, wow.
Ruston Way. Awesome. I like it.
Huh. Thanks, Karen.
That is very
You're
good.
welcome.
You're getting a long distance award this morning.
I am getting a long distance award, but it's nice and clear and no one's on the road.
That's
nice.
That's great.
That's very good. Are you working your way here?
Yes.
So we'll talk with you in about 2 hours?
Yes, you will.
Excellent.
An hour and a half.
Drive careful.
I shall. Okay, bye.
Thank you,
Karen.
hon. Bye-bye.
Well, that's cool. Ruston Way up there, Tacoma.
I like it.
657.
Well, we're trying to blend communities and
however that works.
It's everybody. We're all one big family.
Yeah, sure. We have CNBC Business Radio report.
But we got some loyal listeners.
We do. That's great. And we'll continue to keep the phone lines open at 462-1041 at the 360 area code. And a good morning to you. 7 o'clock here coming up next. CNBC, as we mentioned, tonight Gonzaga basketball.
Yeah.
And, who is it, Santa Clara?
Zags are going to take on Loyola Marymount.
That's who it is.
Yes, after beating down the Pepperdine Wave the other night. So we've got that for you later on tonight. In the meantime, a little news coming your way after a business report on KMAS.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
I'm Chris Maurer, CNBC Business Radio. Stocks are in the green. The Dow's up 121 points. The Nasdaq higher by 26. Shares of Nike are up 1%. The athletic apparel giant's earnings beating the street, but revenues missed slightly. Nike says its future orders are up 20%. But Bed Bath & Beyond stock is tanking after lowering its third quarter profit forecast. Chipotle is rolling out a new food safety plan in the wake of its recent E. coli outbreaks. A new Reuters Ipsos poll shows nearly a quarter of Americans who have heard of the outbreak are eating less often at its restaurants. And Beatlemaniacs have something big to celebrate. The world's most famous band is finally going to be available on streaming music services beginning Christmas Eve. Industry sources say it will be available on a wide number of music services, including Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play, and Tidal. Chris Maurer, CNBC.
When I think of all the great deals I could get at Happy Honda Days, it's like,
I'm a beautiful princess, so I'm in my chariot so I can ride out the ball in style.
Then I hear it's a KBB.com best value brand, and I'm all.
A princess still appreciates a good deal once she gets one.
Joyous deals for every side of you. Hurry into the Happy Honda Day sales event now. Well-qualified buyers can get 0.9% APR on the 2016 Odyssey at your Honda dealer.
Based on 2015 brand image awards from visit KBB.com for more information. See dealer for financing details.
If you can't see the difference, why pay the difference? Switch to Dish and see what real value is. Call 877-319-6988. You can also save a bundle when you combine DishNet high-speed internet with your TV service. Call 877-319-6988. Programming starting as little as $29.99, plus access to thousands of movies and TV shows. Stream to your TV, smartphone, or tablet. Call 877-319-6988. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get Dish.
Tom Hartman is live and waiting for your call from 9 to noon weekdays on KMAS Shelton, AM 1030, FM 1033, and KMAS.com.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Karen Chase. Freaky winter weather has Americans shaking their heads from coast to coast. They're playing golf in New England. Meanwhile, tornadoes.
Today that we'll probably need to issue more tornado watches over that area and then over toward the Mid-South, toward Memphis and areas around there.
Meteorologist Roger Edwards says the threat of tornadoes in that region is the second to highest level. The holiday getaway promises to be the biggest ever this year. More than 100 million people are making a move. ABC's Ryan Burrow has the story.
Here at O'Hare Airport, crowded security lines snake around the terminal.
Yeah, totally didn't expect it.
Where did you start at?
About a mile down that way.
Right, I'm going to
I'll miss my flight.
But security isn't the only concern. The weather could be an issue for some of these flyers. The temperatures are up, but fog is hampering the Midwest, and potential for severe weather in the Mid-South could mean problems for people headed to Memphis, Louisville, and Nashville.
Looks like we'll be able to get out here, get on the ground in time to beat the storms, but if not, we just have to hang out here and wait it out.
Ryan Burrow, ABC News, Chicago.
IVF may be more successful than previously suspected. A new study found the more you try in vitro fertilization, the better your odds are of having a child. Researchers say it's only a slight increase each time, but persistence can pay off. Did you see that?
What is that? I hope it's not.
That's what a lot of people were asking from Nevada to California when a fiery light streaked across the sky.
I hope that's nothing that's going to cause anything big.
It was a piece of the Russian booster rocket that sent a cargo ship to the space station. A dubious distinction for Johnny Depp. Forbes has named him the most overpaid actor in Hollywood, estimating he brings in only $1.20 for every dollar he's paid. Happy Festivus, Rand Paul tweeted, and in the spirit of the Seinfeld holiday, proceeded to air his grievances. One included a shot at Donald Trump, who he complained always gives gifts made in China. This is ABC News.
There's a reason why so many celebrities use Proactive. Their faces are their money. And it's time for you to get it because Proactive has set up a special 800 number. For just $19.95, you'll get Proactive and a rotating deep cleansing brush. A $45 value, yours free. For only $19.95, you're guaranteed to get clear and stay clear or your money back. Here's the number, 1-800-644-5944. Call now for a lifetime of beautiful skin. 1-800-644-5944.
Cricket Wireless is here to make your holidays even brighter. Ready, flip the switch! Get a $100 bill credit when you switch to the Merrier carrier before January 7th. Plus, get the Samsung Galaxy Grand Prime for $29.99. Whoa! Santa's definitely going to know where your house is this year. Cricket Wireless, something to smile about.
Offers end 1/7/16. Offers require not reported and activation on qualified plan and same transaction. First month service charge due with sale. Bill credit requires 2 service payments within 45 days. Credit received within 60 days. Device purchase not required to receive credit. Basic phones excluded. Fees, other charges, and restrictions apply. See store for offer details.
Happy holidays from the Fab Four. The Beatles' back catalog is heading for many streaming services on Christmas Eve. ABC's Tom Rivers explained.
Moving with the times, Beatles music is being made available on a wide range of 9 services that will offer their tracks worldwide. The deal involves the rights to stream 224 songs from the original 13 studio albums released in the UK, as well as compilations. It comes at a time when streaming services have now taken over digital downloads as the most prominent way to consume music, although several artists have questioned the value of the platform. Tom Rivers, ABC News, London.
If you haven't seen this video, Google it. A World Cup skier is shushing down the slopes in a race when a drone falls out of the sky and lands inches behind him. He wasn't hurt and he didn't win, but he didn't seem bothered either. Later tweeting, heavy air traffic over Italy. Hashtag lucky me. Karen Chase, ABC News.
Local news is brought to you by Shelton Health and Rehabilitation Center. Find them online at sheltonhealthandrehab.com.
You're listening to KMAS News Radio. I'm Marilyn Foster. A zoning correction opens the door for another grow operation. Yesterday, the county commission repaired another urban boundary designation, which split the property in 2 different jurisdictions, one half in the urban growth boundary and the other outside of the urban growth boundary. With the approval to correct the boundary, the owner went on to pursue a rezone of the property, the old Belfair Nursery property, from residential 4 zoning to a mixed-use designation. This designation, along with a development agreement, would allow the investors to expand the current use to make their operation bigger and better. According to Commissioner Netherland, the investors have invested $200,000 in the property and business and will bring much-needed jobs to the county. Commissioner Jeffries was cautious with her approval as she didn't want to give the appearance of spot zoning, which ultimately restricts the use of the property for the future. Commissioner Sheldon disagreed with the other 2 commissioners, stating he didn't want a repeat of the Sells Road property owners when odors got out of control. The rezone was approved 2-0. Mason PUD3 has received its 11th consecutive international recognition for the quality and completeness of its financial reporting. PUD3 was awarded the Certificate of Excellence in Financial Reporting for its 2014 Comprehensive Annual Financial Report by the International Government Finance Officers Association of the United States and Canada. The PUD is one of only 3 public utility districts in Washington state to apply for such recognition for its financial reporting. The GFOA says the Certificate of Achievement is the highest form of recognition in the area of governmental accounting and financial reporting. Its attainment represents a significant accomplishment by a government entity and its management. In addition to the 11 consecutive GFOA awards for financial reporting, the utility's operations are inspected annually by the Washington State Auditor's Office and have not been subject to a finding in over 36 years. A 55-year-old Belfair man was arrested and several grams of methamphetamine, prescription pills, marijuana, and nearly $1,400 in cash were seized at the Union River access area. Fish and Wildlife Officer Jay Summit initially contacted a male and female sitting in a vehicle parked at the access area that did not have a Discover Pass displayed as required. Officer Smith also noticed a glass pipe with white residue in the center console. He asked the driver, Mark Shockley, if there was anything else in the vehicle, and Shockley handed over a black bag from his seat. It contained suspected methamphetamine, small baggies, a scale, a bag of marijuana, white powder, and a glass smoking pipe. Shockley was arrested for possession of a controlled substance with intent to deliver. I'm Mary Lynn Foster, your local news at AM 1030 and FM 103.3, and always on KMAS.com.
So what's up?
Well, you know what? This HUD stuff is going on quite a bit. I want to ask Art about what he thinks about that. We've been getting chatter. We've been hearing chatter about this.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What is it you want to ask Art about?
HARP and CERN.
Whoa. Okay. Well, I can start with HARP. I can help you out. You don't need Art for that. The deal with HARP is it's being turned over to a university, if you can believe that.
Midnight in the Desert with Art Bell, live weeknights 9 to midnight on KMAS.
Is your family doing some growing? Whether it's an expansion of your home or the addition of a new family car, Peninsula Credit Union can provide fast, friendly service with terrific rates. We offer personal lines of credit, affordable auto loans, and a variety of home loan options to get you moving. Visit our offices in Shelton, Belfair, Paulsbo, Port Orchard, and Port Townsend, or go online to pcfcu.org. At Peninsula Credit Union, our priority is you.
Future Hall of Famer could be out for the year. I'm ABC's Dave Packer reporting on sports. Saints quarterback Drew Brees has a torn plantar fascia on his right foot, which he suffered during Monday night's game against Detroit. Now New Orleans faces a big question.
He's willing to try to play with the pain, but is it really worth it? I think they make that decision by Friday, and there's a likelihood he may not play the rest of the regular season.
ESPN's John Clayton there. The Saints host Jacksonville Sunday. 10 Panthers were selected to the NFC Pro Bowl team as rosters were announced Tuesday. Cam Newton made his third, Josh Norman his first, and joining Norman in Hawaii, Giants receiver Odell Beckham, who also made his first. The Patriots, Cardinals, and Seahawks each had 7 players selected. And Oakland took number 1 Michigan to OT.
Forrest, yes! Lynn Forrest makes it a 5-point game with 30 seconds left in overtime.
On ESPN, it wasn't enough. Final score 99-93 Spartans. Around the nation, Xavier's off to a school's best 12-0 start.
Front rim miss. Musketeers looking to run 4-on-3. Sumner!
Xavier has just seized control of this game.
On ESPN, Edmund Sumner with the big dunk, 78-70, final over Wake Forest. And Iowa State survived a scare.
Nader a 3, yes! Abdul Nader from downtown with 11 seconds to go, and Iowa State in front, 81-79.
The call from Learfield Sports, they beat Cincinnati 81-79. On the ice, Rangers beat Anaheim 3-2 in a shootout, as did the Panthers 2-1 over Ottawa. And in Winnipeg,
Backlund to Gaudreau. He shoots. He scored! Johnny hat trick.
On Sportsnet 960, The Fan, Johnny Gaudreau with his hat trick. Flames down the Jets 4-1 to the hardwood. Kobe with a big night.
15-foot fall away. Good. Kobe ties his season high with 31.
On KSPN, Lakers win 111-107 over Denver. I'm Dave Packer, ABC Sports.
Well, I think it's in the Slakey brothers
HVAC,
whatever
future
doctrine, and any Slakey can get a job.
Well, he can intern. I know people at Arch Mechanical. He can intern over there. Tom's a nice guy.
Look at this, proud partner of the Kings That's like a legit business.
It is.
With our name on it. Yikes.
Yikes. Look out. Here come the Slakey brothers. Some people are singing Here Comes Santa Claus. We're going to be singing Here Come the Slakey brothers.
The Slakey brothers. Yikes.
All right. Good morning and welcome to it.
Stephanie's not pregnant, by the way. If you were alluding to that.
Oh, true. Right.
As
far as you know, she's not pregnant.
Wouldn't that be a Christmas present?
Yeah, it would be a Christmas present.
It'd be a miracle.
The gift of life. All right, and it could happen. You never know. Those things can happen. It's now it's 11 past 7. May I start sports?
If you want.
Of course, we did mention the Kings already.
Basketball season is
Sacramento Kings.
Ongoing, I believe.
I believe you're right about that. In sports, in the wild and crazy, wacky world of sports, Cougars lose in Honolulu to number 3 ranked Oklahoma, but gave up a valiant fight, and that's okay. They've had a real good run so far, and they're still playing. They're in a hoop classic over there in Hawaii, so they're not going to dwell on the loss too much.
Plus, they're in Hawaii. Now, their counterparts, the boys on the football team, are far, far away from Honolulu. They're in El Paso, Texas, getting ready for the Miami Hurricanes for the Sun Bowl that's coming up on the 20th. Should be a good matchup. As a matter of fact, it's being billed as the third closest matchup of the 40 bowl matchups this season. Okay.
So they're saying that, it's a coin toss between these two teams, and it should be what they call one of the good games to watch. BYU, Utah was a good game, and Utah prevailed in their contest in the bowl game here the other night. And so Cougars, Miami, people are, now on a national level, they're kind of making a big deal about it because of the geographic differences of the two schools and the cultures of the two schools. And they're both similar records, 8-4. So it should be a pretty good Holiday Bowl. Meanwhile, at the other side of Texas is the Heart of Dallas Bowl. Same day, University of Washington getting a bowl bid this year, and they're taking on Southern Mississippi.
Wow.
So we'll give you the breakdown of all that tomorrow as well. Tonight, Jeff and I going back to the Mini Dome. We've got a couple more stops this month of December. And tonight, Clover Park comes to town, taking on the High Climbers. We'll have it for you at 7 o'clock, KMAS.com, and on our Facebook page, Facebook/1030 KMAS, live video stream of tonight's basketball action. Very cool. And count them. 7 Seahawks. I couldn't count very well. 7 Seahawks.
Count them.
Make the Pro Bowls. Count them. 5 defensive guys and 2 offensive guys, and a lot of guys left off of the starting lineup. But we'll talk about that at 7:30 this morning, and well-deserving. All the Seahawks that made the Pro Bowl.
Good.
Absolutely.
Good. It's exciting. Pro Bowl, another Hawaii deal.
Yeah, January 31st.
38 and some light rain going on, maybe some thunderstorms for the next couple of hours, half an inch of rain. Tomorrow, Thursday, Christmas Eve, 41. We're going to be at about 40 into next week and about to next Friday, actually. And it actually looks pretty dry as well. So we are in a good stretch of clear conditions after we get past today, where it is again 38. But feels like 30.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email or Facebook. Now from the shores of Hood Canal, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
All right, good morning to you. Daybreak here, KMAS, KMAS.com.
Yeah, indeed. By the way, the KMAS holiday giveaway in full swing this morning. You want to keep the number handy, 461-1041. We've kind of just thrown the phone open and had it be your choice of gifts. We're running out of gifts. And so I'm not gonna shut it down here. But with Second Street Design, we have $20 gift certificates. We have pairs of tickets to the upcoming Elma Wine Festival. This is a really, really nice event coming up on the 23rd of January. Something to think about attending at the big convention center there at the fairgrounds in Elma. And they've got live music.
You said like some people from Heart
by Heart, or Heart to Heart, I guess is the name of
Wasn't that a TV
band.
show?
Two of the original members of the band Heart will be performing. Mike DeRozier on drums. And also Steve Fossen, who's the original bass player for Heart. Also, guitar legend Randy Hanson's part of the group. Bob Rivers.
Whoa, wait, what?
Yeah. And also vocalist Summer Masick and Lizzie DeMott. They are Ann and Nancy Wilson reincarnated, vocally anyway. And you'll truly think you're in a live Heart performance listening to Magic Man, Barracuda, and Crazy on You.
Great songs.
All great songs, especially if you've had a couple of wines.
Yeah.
Well,
is this Heart? We're seeing Heart.
Man, I didn't know Heart was here.
I just like him. This Heart.
So you get a little sippy glass and some tickets for beverages and admission to the whole event. We're giving away pairs of tickets if you'd like, and you can give us a call at 462-1041 to attend the big event that you can stay overnight there. You can make arrangements to do that. This is all being put on through the Elma Chamber of Commerce. So kind of a neat deal. That's just one of the gifts that we're giving away, pairs of tickets, and we've got a few more pairs if you'd like to give us a call. Now, headline news. 4 residents from our state facing human trafficking charges, Jeff. Federal prosecutors say they brought a 14-year-old from Mexico, a young girl, and made her work long hours in kitchens. According to the SeattlePI.com reports, prosecutors say Angel Sandoval Mondragon brought the girl over the border in 2005, months after he was deported. Sandoval's sister, his ex-wife, and another person all face charges. So kind of a dark, deep deal going there. And also some people got caught up in a sting operation here recently where they thought they were buying the services of a underage girl, and it was a sting. So 10 people arrested, 9 guys and a girl.
Wow.
That was yesterday. And you might recall the gun violence tax that the Seattle City Council put on the books and then was challenged.
Yeah.
Well, a judge upheld the gun violence tax brought on by gun rights groups. The judge rejected arguments that the state prohibits local governments from adopting laws related to firearms unless those laws are specifically authorized by the legislature. The Seattle's tax calls for adding $25 to the price of each firearm that is sold in the city limits, plus 2 or 5 cents per round of ammunition. There may be an appeal to this, and it is a kind of a precedent-setting decision. So we'll keep a close eye on how that plays out.
I remember
here in the future.
Because the NRA came in and said, whoa, your Constitution doesn't allow municipalities to do this.
Yeah, that's right.
And the Seattle's argument was that it was for health costs or something, to cover health costs, not necessarily to dissuade gun ownership, I think. I remember that story.
Yeah, they got around it by putting a tax on it and designating where the tax money would go. And
that is precedent. If this holds up, it's got to go to the state Supreme Court, I would imagine.
I would imagine so. Yeah, absolutely. 7:20. And we welcome you to a Wednesday hump day here on Daybreak with Jeff and Dale. We'll be right back with more Northwest news, sports, and Faldy-Rawl.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Hi, this is Kelly Crabtree from Maple Glen Senior Living, where we believe that Christmas is the best time of year. For the staff and residents at Maple Glen, it's a time for enjoying friends and family and for sending warmest wishes to special people like you. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from all of us at Maple Glen.
Greetings of the season from the folks at the Camilchi Dental Center. They wish you the joys of Christmas and prosperity throughout the new year. Again, best wishes and Merry Christmas from the Camilchi Dental Center.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare, having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom31.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom31.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom, the number 31.com. Go to freedom31.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom31.com.
Hi, this is Patty Case with Green Diamond Resource Company, and you're listening to Jeff and Dale on KMAS.
Some of these lights on this show that, I mean, it's just amazing. So they have got thousands of pounds, millions of LED lights, and they're all synced to music, and they just kind of go crazy.
As good as Peyton Manning's setup that he has in that commercial?
Better, more impressive than that commercial.
Wow. Christmas lights lit up your house.
Jeez.
People do it. First of all, starts out in the spirit of the holiday. And then, well, you know, the Joneses over there, they got a little, honey, can we get another string of lights?
Just one more.
There's a blank spot over here. And look at how the Joneses look over there. See? So anyway, then it gets out of control. And then they have all of a sudden now it's a television special. Who's got the best decorated home in America?
Yeah.
And it makes for great viewing because those homes are absolutely stunning. I don't know what their electric bill is after December.
You know, they look great at nighttime. During the day, though, it just looks like a mess.
Yeah. Well, then the ugliness of the wires and all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, all right, Star Wars. Have you heard of this movie?
No.
So there's a
Tell me more.
series about it's a space opera.
Famous people are having wars or Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Jones and somebody else. No, so Star Wars is out right this week. You saw it.
Yes, I did.
J.J. Abrams is the dude who created Star Wars 7, Force Awakens. Well, apparently he is not doing the 8th one. So he was just signed on to do 1. But he says, I just read the script.
And now
it is so good. I wish I were making
Well, I told you they have this one set up for the next one. I mean, you just scratched the surface of the ongoing story during this. I'm not spoiling anything by saying that. You don't move forward a lot. Not a lot of time goes by during this movie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
There's not a lot of time consumed there. Now, there's been some time between and when you start the movie. But they've got it all set up for the next. Yeah, you got to go to the next one now to find out what happens the next day.
Uh-huh.
You know?
It's amazing.
It's pretty cool. It is pretty cool.
So let's see. Early cuts, 2 Star Wars films, more scheduled for a 2017 release, Episode 8.
Okay.
But I think there's going to be another one in betwixt next year.
Wow.
Not necessarily part of the canon of these eventual 9.
Yeah.
But the offshoot stories.
When you went deep and started running all the previous episodes a week or two ago, did you do all, was there 5, 6 of them?
6.
6 of them. Did you do them in sequence and watch them in order?
I haven't finished.
As they were released? Or did you watch them like episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6?
I watched them in order of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Which is really movies
If you were going to do it for the theatrical release,
right.
That's how you do it. 4, 5, 6, 1,
Would
2,
that screw you up if you did it that way? So I want to see them all again now after having seen the new one. But I don't know which sequence I want to do it. And then I don't know what month I'm going to take off to watch all this stuff.
You got to take a whole month off. So, if you're never... This is going to sound silly, but I started with number 1 for Kaiser. Not that he even understands what he's looking at. But it's so he can get a baseline of where the Jedis are at, where the Empire is at, and moving forward to where we get to eventually number 7.
Okay.
So that I would watch it in order. I would also watch it in order because I'd be so frustrated by the end of the third one, Revenge of the Sith, that when I got to the 1977 classic Star Wars: A New Hope, I'd be like, yes, okay, now I can enjoy these. Now, because if I watched 4, 5, 6 first, and then I go back and watch 1, 2, 3, and I think maybe like Lene, when we talked to her on Friday, she was more of a fan of the 4, 5, 6, not the 1, 2, 3s, and I think if you go back and you're a traditionalist, you go back and watch 1, 2, 3, you really just you're just like, ugh. It's so computery.
Okay.
It's so talky. I mean, there's a lot of talking going on.
Okay.
A lot of dialogue. Character development.
You're not going to get all buried under a lot of dialogue in this new one.
No, and you don't really in 4, 5, and 6. Yeah. That's what's so great about it.
Yeah, and it moves along. It's pretty good. Headline news here around the Northwest and the South Sound region. A body discovered as the firefighters were clearing out a apartment building in Seattle that had caught fire. 2 people were injured, and according to reports, the officials don't believe the man's death was related to the fire. Say the man appears to have died of natural causes before the fire had been ignited. One of the injured is in critical condition. That is in Seattle. We mentioned this weather is horrible up in the mountains. It's storming and blowing and snowing and avalanche dangers, all those things, people missing, skiers are missing. Authorities had to rescue 3 hikers in the Panther Creek area. This is in Skamania County, southwestern Washington. Emergency radio beacon was activated. The rescue team responded with snowmobiles and found 3 men in their early 20s, uninjured, in their rig, trying to make their way out of snow that was 4 feet deep.
Jeez.
It wasn't that deep when they went in. Be careful. Yeah, these storms come out of nowhere. And also, there was a search for a single cross-country hiker who was missing over the weekend, and that search has been suspended because of avalanche danger. And 2 other hikers who were stranded west of Snoqualmie Pass, they were stuck in about 6 feet of snow. The man and women called, and they were near Denny Creek off of I-90, but again, they were stuck. So the hikers were properly equipped, fortunately, and were prepared for everything except they didn't have snowshoes to get out. And you can't, 6 feet of snow, if you don't have something to keep you on top of the snow, you're stuck.
Yeah.
You can't move. You can't get out there. And remember to bring snowshoes if you're going to go out in the backcountries, and check the weather report.
Check the weather report
before you go out there.
Don't assume that you're going to have cell phone service.
Yeah. The good news this morning, Highway 12, White Pass, is reopened in both directions after being closed a couple of weeks ago because of washouts and mudslides. And the White Pass ski area is scheduled to open today for the season.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, it's a fun ski area. So that's the good news this morning. And we have torrential rain downpouring on us this morning. Drive carefully. A little better than having icy roads and accidents all over the place 24 hours ago.
It was really messy yesterday. 7:29 at KMAS, and the news is coming up with Mary Lynn Foster. We'll check sports as well, give you the schedule for the next couple of days, and talk about the Hawks that made it into the Pro Bowl.
Lots of them.
Notable names on and off the list.
Yes, indeed.
We'll tell you about that right coming up here shortly on Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Local news is brought to you by Fred Holmes Tree Service. FredHolmesTreeService.com, 427-4489.
You're listening to KMAS News Radio. I'm Marilyn Foster. A zoning correction opens the door for another grow operation. Yesterday, the county commission repaired another urban boundary designation, which split the property in two different jurisdictions, one half in the urban growth boundary and the other outside of the urban growth boundary. With the approval to correct the boundary, the owner went on to pursue a rezone of the property, the old Belfair Nursery property, from residential 4 zoning to a mixed-use designation. This designation, along with a development agreement, would allow the investors to expand the current use to make their operation bigger and better. According to Commissioner Netherland, the investors have invested $200,000 in the property and business and will bring much-needed jobs to the county. Commissioner Jeffries was cautious with her approval as she didn't want to give the appearance of spot zoning, which ultimately restricts the use of the property for the future. Commissioner Sheldon disagreed with the other two commissioners, stating he didn't want a repeat of the Sells Road property owners when odors got out of control. The rezone was approved 2-0. Mason PUD 3 has received its 11th consecutive international recognition for the quality and completeness of its financial reporting. PUD 3 was awarded the Certificate of Excellence in Financial Reporting for its 2014 Comprehensive Annual Financial Report by the International Government Finance Officers Association of the United States and Canada. The PUD is one of only 3 public utility districts in Washington state to apply for such recognition for its financial reporting. The GFOA says the Certificate of Achievement is the highest form of recognition in the area of governmental accounting and financial reporting. Its attainment represents a significant accomplishment by a government entity and its management. In addition to the 11 consecutive GFOA awards for financial reporting, the utilities operations are inspected annually by the Washington State Auditor's Office and have not been subject to a finding in over 36 years. A 55-year-old Belfair man was arrested and several grams of methamphetamine, prescription pills, marijuana, and nearly $1,400 in cash were seized at the Union River access area. Fish and Wildlife Officer Jay Summit initially contacted a male and female sitting in a vehicle parked at the access area that did not have a Discover Pass displayed as required. Officer Smith also noticed a glass pipe with white residue in the center console. He asked the driver, Mark Shockley, if there was anything else in the vehicle, and Shockley handed over a black bag from his seat. It contained suspected methamphetamine, small baggies, a scale, a bag of marijuana, white powder, and a glass smoking pipe. Shockley was arrested for possession of a controlled substance with intent to deliver. I'm Marilyn Foster, your local news at AM 1030 and FM 103.3, and always on KMAS.com.
Stop by Mason PUD 3's Shelton or Belfair offices this month and pick up your free 2016 PUD calendar. The calendar has important tips for energy efficiency, storm preparation, and contact information, so it's always close at hand. The calendar also has beautiful photos of Mason County scenery. Supplies are limited, so get your calendar before they're all gone. Mason PUD number 3, providing clean, renewable, and reliable energy every day.
The Cougars are invading El Paso.
It's going to be an exciting ride.
Throws it to the end zone, intercepted by Washington State.
It's the 2015 Sun Bowl. Washington State, Miami.
Has time. Throws it. Center of the end zone. Craycraft. Caught. Touchdown.
Listen, this Saturday, kickoff is at 11. Our coverage begins at 9.
It makes your heart pound, doesn't it?
On the Washington State IMG Sports Network.
Cool Saints.
Newsradio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 103.3, and thanks for listening this morning. Also, we are online on KMAS.com, audio and video this morning. Good morning and welcome to it. 7 Seahawks are in 2016 Pro this year for the third time in franchise history. 7 Seattle Seahawks named to the 2016 Pro Bowl roster. 5 members of a defense that currently ranks second in the league in both points and yards allowed were honored. Defensive end Michael Bennett, linebacker Bobby Wagner, cornerback Richard Sherman, safeties Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor, as were quarterback Russell Wilson and rookie Tyler Lockett. They made the team. He made the team as a return specialist. But those that were named as alternates and not on the Pro Bowl team include Cliff Averill, defensive end, wide receiver Doug Baldwin, whom I just really thought he was going to make Pro Bowl this year.
Yeah.
Kicker Steve Hauschka, running back Marshawn Lynch, and left tackle Russell Okung, all named, as alternates for Pro Bowls. The Seahawks had 7 players in 1984, 7 players again in 2005. So it's been 10 years since we've had that many. Even in our Super Bowl years, we haven't had that many people on the Pro Bowl. Carolina this year has 10 of their 22 starters on the Pro Bowl.
It was like in 2001 when the Mariners had every Mariner versus the National League in the All-Star game.
Pretty much.
At Safeco.
Yeah.
That was that 116-game season.
Yeah, they had an all-star lineup. There was no doubt about it. Lost in the first round.
Great year.
All right. Let's see what else is happening in sports notes. Well, we mentioned the Cougars lose one to number 3 ranked Oklahoma last night, but it was in Honolulu after all, so it's not like the end of the world or anything for the Cougs basketball team. Ernie Kent is the new coach of the Cougs, and he has got them off to a pretty good start. Actually, they've like 7-3 early in the season, so they're not doing bad, but not quite a top 5 team nationally speaking, and so they kind of got a little shellacked last night or yesterday afternoon during the tournament. They were up against Oklahoma, and the final score I think was 86-60, something like that. 88-60, that was it. Final score. Oklahoma shooting nearly 57% from the field. Hard to play against. High scores for the Cougs. Ike Arogbu and Josh Hawkinson each scored 16 apiece for the Cougars. Meanwhile, the Huskies continue their winning ways, and they were home against the Seattle U last night, 79-68 the final, and a good outing for the Huskies, who are off to a pretty good start as well. Now, tonight in the Mini Dome, Shelton hosting Clover Park. Jeff Slakey will be there, as will Dale Hubbard. And we will be video streaming the entire thing for you on KMAS.com and on Facebook, 1030 KMAS. Yes?
Yeah.
Whew, man, I got through sports okay.
I'm enjoying those games. Right now, light rain and thunderstorms beginning maybe in about an hour or so. You could hear some thunderstorms, and then off and on rain throughout the day. Will dry out by tomorrow. Nothing doing until maybe the first of the year. Very minimal rain off and on. All hovering right around 40 degrees. 738 KMAS.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email or Facebook. Now, from the gateway to the Olympic Mountains, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
All right, good morning to you. It's Daybreak here, KMAS. I read a story. I don't think it's in any of our prep services, but there was... So what's Hateful Eight's coming out?
Yes.
Kurt Russell, Samuel L. Jackson.
It's an all-star cast. Holy cow.
It is Quentin Tarantino's 8th movie, filmed in beautiful 70mm Panavision or whatever. Anywho.
Yes.
One of the things that happens nowadays is that these movies come out on DVD. And VHS too, because I remember working at Blockbuster in late 90s, early aughts, and we would get what are considered screener movies. Kind of a
Screamer?
Screener.
Oh, okay.
Movies. And we would get a copy of these, and you watch them and you go, oh, this is going to be a great movie. We need to make sure that we have blank copies on board. Okay. So anywho, can you talk a little bit more?
Yeah, you got me. There I am. Where? No? Have I got to shorten my...
Yeah, you got to shorten your pants. Anyway, so we get these screeners, and you watch them, and then you decide how many copies you need to order.
Okay.
The other thing used for these screeners, that's weird, is they get sent out to the Academy for consideration for the upcoming season with the Golden Globes and the Oscars and things like that. And so anyways, the Hateful Eight screener gets sent to some mucky muck in Hollyweird. And between the delivery and getting to the Hollywood mucky muck, a copy gets ripped and uploaded to the dark web. That really is not working here.
The Hateful Eight is on the dark. Oh, hey.
I don't know. Yeah, we're having some...
I'm having a technical difficulty.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'll tell this story and then we'll get to a break and I'll fix you up. So the Hateful Eight shows up on the dark web and people are now going, whoa, how did it get here? It's not even out yet. Yada, this and that. So they have got watermarks on all of these screeners sent out to everybody. It says this screener is sent specifically to DJ Dale. So if it ever gets out in the public, they go, DJ Dale, we gave you this. You weren't supposed to do this.
I got it. Okay.
Anyways, it's out there now, and people are really upset. If you remember, a leaked script from the Hateful Eight from Quentin Tarantino almost caused him to not even do the whole movie. He was going to quit the whole caboodle.
And he's been a little emotional about life in general anyway.
Yeah,
lately.
he's been outspoken lately to things that are going on around the world. But so this screener is out there, and people are trying to figure out. And the guy, the mucky muck, says, I never even saw this thing. I don't know where you got this. So it's out there. It's a pretty amazing as people are getting ready for, awards season. I saw another story that the Congress is going to get together and do some stuff on concussions with this Will Smith movie coming out shortly. Big Short is coming out. We'll see if that
I think that comes out this weekend.
Yeah, that'll be
that's a big deal.
Pretty interesting stuff here.
I'd say so.
Lots of movies to go see. I'm sure Star Wars will be tops at the box office again.
Yes.
Everybody's got everybody. I saw there's people that've seen it like 4 or 5 times already.
Star Wars already?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think if you see it 6 times, no, that's 12 hours. I'm just wondering.
Yeah. Right around 2-hour mark is how long it. Yeah.
That's perfect.
Give or take.
I remember when movies were 90 minutes on the dot. And that you could get the whole story in. You didn't lose anything.
You can get a story in if that's all you've got.
There's a lot of extra footage on these films.
The Big Short expands nationwide today. Ryan Gosling, Christian Bale, a lot of guys in that one. And as a matter of fact, Brad Pitt's in that one too, The Big Short. Wearing a beard.
Yeah.
So this is a story about the ones who made a buck off of our most recent recession, right before the bubble popped. The Big Short, they sell short. How's that? You buy short and sell long, something. Whatever they did, they pulled a quickie right before the banks all folded into themselves.
Right.
And it came out okay, but kind of marginally legal or marginally illegal. So that's what the premise of the movie is about. Looks to be pretty good. Another good cast there. I like when they have multiple superstars all sharing screen time. I mean, that's what Hollywood should be. Movies should include all the people that you want to see, all working together, all carrying a storyline. And when you have multiple superstars, you're not focused on one person about what their performance is like, or you're entrenched in the story.
Is it a comedy?
It's dramedy.
Directed by the guy who did Anchorman.
I don't think it's not goofy like that.
But
it's
clever.
It's clever. Yeah, there's repartee.
Is it witty?
It's witty.
That's my favorite.
I feel witty.
7:45 at KMAS and KMAS.com. A good morning to you. We'll take a break here. When we come back, we'll open up the phone lines once again. Give away some great holiday magic. We'll sprinkle some holiday magic on you.
Yeah.
Try to get your microphone fixed.
List of Hollywood's most overpaid actors. Speaking of that, coming in.
Oh, these are fun. Yeah, we'll do that next. Daybreak.
All of them are overpaid.
With Jeff and Dale, I agree.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. It's the third annual Midwinter Bluegrass Celebration at the Shelton High School Performing Arts Center this Saturday night from 6:30 till 9:30. 3 great bands, North Country, the Bluegrass Regulators, and Runaway Train.
Johnny, come along with me.
It's the best in regional bluegrass from some great young musicians and some old ones too. $10 at the door. Shake off those holiday blues with some toe tap and bluegrass this Saturday night. Brought to you by Christmas Town Kiwanis.
Welcome to McDonald's. May I take your order?
Let me say I look forward to our brief encounter.
Me too.
The search for great value led me to you. When I mix and match, great value will be mine. And to that you say...
What would you like?
Yes!
Now, don't just get value at McDonald's, own it. Get 2 of your favorite tastes for just $5 on the new McPick 2 menu, like the sausage McMuffin with egg and a strawberry banana smoothie. Value is back at McDonald's. Own it. Prices and participation may vary. Price of single item posted on menu board. You answered all your emails by noon. Get a freshly prepared Egg McMuffin. Actually left work on time? Then get yourself a savory sausage McMuffin with egg. You saw the weirdest midnight movie. Well, get a delicious sausage burrito. With McDonald's all-day breakfast menu, you can get delectable breakfast tastes anytime. Egg McMuffin, hotcakes and sausage and more. It's time to start enjoying the breakfast you love whenever you want. Just listen to a radio commercial? Get some golden hash browns. McDonald's all-day breakfast menu varies by location.
Debt is dumb. Dave Ramsey tells you why.
Question comes from Dave in California. He says, is there ever a time when someone might be able to graduate from a cash-only system to the limited use of a credit card? I don't think that would be graduating. I think that would be being put back a grade. I don't know why you would graduate to stupidity. So why is it graduating to have the opportunity to go into debt? Why graduate? Step by. Hi, this is Dave Ramsey. Tune into my show weekdays from noon to 3 here on KMAS.
The craziness is returning to the kennel.
Wiltshire behind his back with a dribble, and he scores. Zach Kornowski to his left, pulls up, shoots, scores and a foul.
Zags basketball from IMG.
Corners, Nelson driving baseline and a two-handed throw down dunk. Oh my goodness, Silas Nelson.
From tip-off to the final buzzer.
And throws it down with 2 hands.
Follow the action all season long on your home for Bulldogs basketball, the Gonzaga IMG Sports Network.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich? Working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare? Having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom31.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom31.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom31.com. Go to freedom31.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom31.com.
Hi, this is Seattle Mariners broadcaster Dave Valley, and you are listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
IMG.
All right, good morning to you. Daybreak here, KMAS, KMAS.com.
IMG Whiz.
462-1041 is our listener line here at the old radio ramp.
All right, in the wild and sometimes wacky world of entertainment, Jeff, some of the headlines that I'm looking at. Big Short expands nationwide today. Star Wars The Force Awakens earns the Critics' Choice Awards nomination. That's good.
Yeah.
And a dinosaur skull purchased by Nicolas Cage will be returned to Mongolia.
I love this story.
Is this a good story? Should I open this one and share?
Anything with Nick Cage.
Well, he hasn't been in any movies lately, but he's been out. He apparently had taken possession of an illegally imported dinosaur skull that had been purchased in 2007. He purchased it and was part of an effort to return stolen fossils to Mongolia. The Tyrannosaurus Batar skull was sold at auction in Manhattan for $276,000. If you want to know what actors pay, what they do with their money, they buy illegal dinosaur skulls and things. So anyway, the fossil was indeed illegally smuggled into the country and rightfully belongs to the government of Mongolia. And so the skull's now in the possession of the Immigration and Customs Enforcement's Homeland Security investigation. Now, there was a civil complaint filed, but Cage is not. He was the buyer.
Right.
He once he found out that it's illegal, he was cooperative.
Yeah, he got hoodwinked.
Yeah, he did. And the specimen was 32 inches in length, and listen, 167 million years old. Wow, that's incredible. And
I thought the Earth was only 5,000 years old.
Well,
6,000. How does that work?
I don't know. It was before my time, just barely.
All right, good morning to you, Daybreak here. That's a good for him being up front and giving it back to the Mongolian government.
All right, the honor of Forbes' list of most overpaid actors.
Yes.
Johnny Depp. He managed a paltry $1.20 return on every dollar that he was paid. His recent roles include Mordecai and Transcendence. Both of which
I don't even know.
I have never even heard of.
I told Stephanie this yesterday. I said, Johnny Depp is like the worst actor because of money or something. And she goes, really? Johnny Depp? I go, well, other than those pirate movies,
yeah,
name a good movie he's been in.
Edward Scissorhands.
Name another recent movie that he's been good in.
I have no idea.
See, and your favorite, you're not even mentioning your favorite movie that he's in.
What?
Lone Ranger.
You're right.
You can't even remember that. That's how bad he was.
He was Tonto.
You love that movie, and you couldn't even picture him.
And I couldn't. So for every dollar he gets paid, he returned $1.20. So they made 20 cents more for him being in the movie.
Amazing.
He unseats Adam Sandler, who's been overpaid for decades. That return on investment puts him just ahead of number 2 ranked Denzel Washington, who returned $6.50 for every dollar he earned. That's not bad.
Wait a second. So
yeah.
the difference between the first and the second place is $5.30.
Yeah.
That's almost a movie ticket.
Coming in at number 3, Will Ferrell. He returned $6.80 for every dollar paid. And they're just in front of Liam Neeson, $7.20 for every buck. Will Smith rounds out the top 5, $8.60 for every dollar paid. And we won't break it all down for you, but rounding out the top 10, Christian Bale, Channing Tatum, Brad Pitt, Ben Affleck, and Tom Cruise. So, it's part of the, I guess, price you pay. If you're going to be in movies, you're going to make some dubious lists sometimes.
Sure.
So they don't care. They're laughing all the way to the bank.
Tom Cruise, though, that's a great, the lower on this list you want to be.
Yes. Yeah.
I believe.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Because then the networks look at you a little better to pick you up on
at least, yeah, because remember, they used to say, well, he's a box office draw.
Right.
So if you're on the top of this list, you're not a box office draw anymore. You've lost that distinction. Pretty interesting. What else is going on? Another alleged victim, suing Bill Cosby for defamation. And this is a new story separate from, we mentioned Bill Cosby filing a cross-countersuit yesterday. This is a whole different story now. A lady by the name of Catherine McKee, a Detroit hotel room, 1974, you know the story.
Do you think that him doing these anti-suits or these defamation suits will get up the ire of other victims that are like, listen, I wasn't going to necessarily jump on this bandwagon, but
think that's why there's so many. Yeah.
Audacity to countersue Beverly Johnson and 6 other folks that, listen, now I'm coming forward for sure.
I think it's got something to do with it. I think that's why there's 50 now. It's just because of his, denial. And they go, well, wait a minute. I couldn't say anything before, but if all these other ladies are coming forward, I'll say something too. And, they knew that he probably not admit to it, but when you're lonely all by yourself going up against a megastar, that's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But if you got 20 or 30 or 40 other people all saying the same thing, well, now it might have some substance. Now they got to take a look at it. So we mentioned that topic yesterday. And a special coming up Tuesday night with Robin Roberts. I didn't get a chance to catch it last night, but she's had a pretty intense last few years. She looks back on the year last night and talked a lot about Caitlyn Jenner and Stuart Scott,
he passed
away this past year. And Amy Schumer's shot to the top of media consciousness. And so she kind of took a look back on the year. There are going to be a lot of those kinds of shows from here on out, especially right after Christmas. Then all next week, you and I will be looking back at the year.
We got a bunch of them.
And a lot of good stuff. And then on Christmas morning, ABC is going to look back on 2015, right?
Yeah.
From 6 to 9. Just while you're opening your presents.
Kurt Russell is the latest. Kurt Russell is the latest celebrity gone by who now is getting a resurgence. We talked about the Hateful Eight just a second ago.
Yes.
I'm thinking, follow me along with this, if you will, kind of John Travolta-ish. Remember John Travolta in Pulp Fiction, and now he's number one. And he was a sweat hog, and then he did nothing, and then he was in Pulp Fiction, and now he's everywhere.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell started with all those great Disney films.
Oh.
Then he was in Big Trouble in Little China and Overboard. You like Overboard, don't you?
I like Overboard. Big Trouble in Little China is one of my all-time favorites. I've got memories with my son. We watched that movie 100 times. And it was on a couple of weeks ago.
Old Jack Barton.
Jack Barton says.
Like this. Anyways, Kurt Russell may have played either Han or Luke in the original movies.
Yes.
He tried out for both Han Solo and Luke Skywalker.
And didn't make it.
Back in the day, there was, kind of how it is now. There's packs of people that are celebrity, and there are certain
in an age group. Yeah.
So they all try it. So Kurt Russell may have played those guys. Now it looks like he could be the father in the Guardians to the Galaxy sequel. A great movie, and he's like one of the 4 people that have never seen it, but he could be the dad of Chris Pratt's character, Peter Quill. So that's pretty good stuff.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. It is rotten to have a birthday during the holidays, or is it? A look at the pros and cons today from the Old Farmer's Almanac.
I was coming out of the hardware store when I saw him. An old man, late 70s, hunched over in the freezing rain, no hat on his head, limping across that slippery parking lot, and pushing a row of shopping carts toward the cart corral. It's heartbreaking. Millions of hardworking Americans simply don't have enough money to retire, so they just keep working and working and working until it's too late. Hi, I'm Chad Stubbs, President and CEO of Power Trader, and I believe that's just plain wrong. That's why I'm now distributing to the public absolutely free copies of Power Trader's game-changing book on how regular folks can make the money they need to retire fast. For your free copy, call 1-800-933-1785. Don't let the lack of money rob you of your retirement. Call now for details and get your free copy of this book before it's too late. 1-800-933-1785. But hurry while supplies last. 1-800-933-1785. 1-800-933-1785.
With more practical tips and useful advice, this is the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report for Wednesday, December 23rd, the 357th day of the year. On this day in 1971, the first of the Twin World Trade Center towers was completed in New York City. Anyone with a birthday this time of year can tell you all about the downsides, but a surprising number of people we ask said they enjoy having a birthday near the holidays. Some say the festive atmosphere makes their birthday feel even more special. Kids enjoy not being in school, and there's often extra family and friends around to celebrate. And here's a touching custom shared by one family. A father made it a ritual to trade birthdays with his young daughter. He bore the disadvantages of her December birthday, while she gained the benefits of a summer celebration. That is the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report. Learn more at almanac.com.
Your South Sound home for NFL primetime football is KMAS Shelton, Monday, Thursday, and Sunday nights, AM 1030 and FM 103.3.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Karen Chase. Wild weather could bring a turbulent holiday week to the Mid-South. Tornado watches and warnings are keeping people on edge from Tyler, Texas to Memphis and from Chicago to Atlanta.
Obviously, with this much moisture, we're going to get heavy rains on a local basis from these storms and occasional severe hail, although we think the main threats will be tornado.
Center meteorologist Roger Edwards says the East Coast is seeing record-breaking warmth. If you're not home right now, it's not surprising. More than 100 million people are taking a holiday trip this year inspired by cheap gas. ABC's Lindsay Davis has some advice.
Today is expected to be the busiest travel day. The worst hours between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. The best day to drive is said to be on Christmas Day, if you might be able to manage to swing that. The second worst day for travel is expected to be Sunday. So do yourself a favor and stay in place until Monday if that's possible.
A defense lawyer says Lakeisha Holloway will plead not guilty to murder and other charges, but she won't be required to enter a plea during an initial court appearance. She's making it at this hour in Nevada. Real housewife Teresa Giudice is back at her New Jersey home for the holidays. She was quietly released from a federal prison in Connecticut after serving a year for tax evasion. A new car with a bow on it was waiting for her in the driveway. Consumer spending bounced back in November, rising 0.3% after a flat reading in October. It was one of the most graceful openings ever on Wall Street. Dancers from the New York City Ballet's production of The Nutcracker rang the opening bell. Happy Festivus, Rand Paul tweeted to followers, then began to air his grievances against Republican rivals in 140 characters or less. They included warning Donald Trump, if you bring the Yiddish, know what it means. To his, quote, absentee colleague, Senator Marco Rubio, he tweeted, I didn't put your salary in my waste report, but could have. He also said he had no grievances against Ben Carson because he hasn't heard a word he has said in any debate so far. This is ABC News.
Are you working so hard to make a living you can't take time to make any real money? Is every day the same boring routine going nowhere and money runs out before the month? Well, my name is Ron LeGrand, and for over 30 years now, I've been helping clients take their life back by buying and selling houses with no money, credit, experience, or licenses. If you call 800-350-0255, 24 hours, and leave a message, I'll send you my new book and CD absolutely free so you can see how. I've bought hundreds of houses and trained thousands to do the same. Call 800-350-0255 to get your free starter kit until 500 are given away. You'll learn how to make a full-time income on a part-time basis without risk, largely tax-free, and get 90% of the work done for you for pennies. That's 800-350-0255. Again, 800-350-0255. Call now and take your life back.
Internet chat rooms lit up with snarky comments after a New Zealand judge ruled Mega Upload founder Kim.com can be extradited to the U.S. where he faces criminal copyright infringement charges. ABC's Ben Coles tells us he's also charged with racketeering and money laundering.
It's alleged Mega Upload earned Kim.com $60 million in 2 years from illegal file sharing, but just before the extradition order was handed down, he told the New Zealand Herald the U.S. government may have bitten off more than it can chew.
I'm still the only case. It's still a novel case, and since the raid on Mega Upload, nothing like that has occurred again.
.com and his 3 codependents plan to appeal. Ben Coles, ABC News, Sydney.
A South Florida man starring in a live streaming video instructing viewers how to safely clean a gun accidentally shot and killed himself. Police in Georgia are looking for Spider-Man, only this one is no hero. A man in a Spider-Man mask is believed to have held up 2 banks. Karen Chase, ABC News.
Local news is brought to you by Shelton Health and Rehabilitation Center. Find them online at sheltonhealthandrehab.com.
You're listening to KMAS News Radio. I'm Marilyn Foster. A zoning correction opens the door for another grow operation. Yesterday, the county commission repaired another urban boundary designation, which split the property in 2 different jurisdictions, one half in the urban growth boundary and the other outside of the urban growth boundary. With the approval to correct the boundary, the owner went on to pursue a rezone of the property, the old Belfair Nursery property, from residential 4 zoning to a mixed-use designation. This designation, along with a development agreement, would allow the investors to expand the current use to make their operation bigger and better. According to Commissioner Netherland, the investors have invested $200,000 in the property and business and will bring much-needed jobs to the county. Commissioner Jeffries was cautious with her approval as she didn't want to give the appearance of spot zoning, which ultimately restricts the use of the property for the future. Commissioner Sheldon disagreed with the other 2 commissioners, stating he didn't want a repeat of the Sells Road property owners when odors got out of control. The rezone was approved 2-0. Mason PUD 3 has received its 11th consecutive international recognition the quality and completeness of its financial reporting. PUD 3 was awarded the Certificate of Excellence in Financial Reporting for its 2014 Comprehensive Annual Financial Report by the International Government Finance Officers Association of the United States and Canada. The PUD is one of only 3 public utility districts in Washington state to apply for such recognition for its financial reporting. The GFOA says the Certificate of Achievement is the highest form of recognition in the area of governmental accounting and financial reporting. Its attainment represents a significant accomplishment by a government entity and its management. In addition to the 11 consecutive GFOA awards for financial reporting, the utility's operations are inspected annually by the Washington State Auditor's Office and have not been subject to a finding in over 36 years. A 55-year-old Belfair man was arrested and several grams of methamphetamine, prescription pills, marijuana, and nearly $1,400 in cash were seized at the Union River access area. Fish and Wildlife Officer Jay Summit initially contacted a male and female sitting in a vehicle parked at the access area that did not have a Discover Pass displayed as required. Officer Smith also noticed a glass pipe with white residue in the center console. He asked the driver, Mark Shockley, if there was anything else in the vehicle, and Shockley handed over a black bag from his seat. It contained suspected methamphetamine, small baggies, a scale, a bag of marijuana, white powder, and a glass smoking pipe. Shockley was arrested for possession of a controlled substance with intent to deliver. I'm Mary Lynn Foster, your local news at AM 1030 and FM 103.3, and always on KMAS.com.
Get ready. It's time to tee it up with Keith Jones.
Now, when you have a misdirected focus and you start to really worry about what other people may be thinking about you, or you're worried about your self-concept, your self-image, you're worried that you don't want to embarrass yourself on the first tee, then your mind is way, way away from where it needs to be.
Tee it up with Keith Jones. All right.
Hi, I'm Ken Slater, the Roof Doctor. If you're like me, your family's important, so make sure that they're well taken care of. One of the best ways to do that is to provide a safe and warm home to live in. For over 50 years, the Roof Doctor has been helping families stay safe and warm by building roofs that last for generations. Our teams have some of the most experienced roofers in the area, and we only use the highest quality materials to keep your family safe, warm, and dry. That's the Roof Doctor. Give us a call.
Future Hall of Famer could be out for the year. I'm ABC's Dave Packer reporting on sports. Saints quarterback Drew Brees has a torn plantar fascia on his right foot, which he suffered during Monday night's game against Detroit. Now New Orleans faces a big question.
He's willing to try to play with the pain, but is it really worth it? I think they make that decision by Friday, and there's a likelihood he may not play the rest of the regular season.
ESPN's John Clayton there. The Saints host Jacksonville Sunday. 10 Panthers were selected to the NFC Pro Bowl team as rosters were announced Tuesday. Cam Newton made his third, Josh Norman his first, and joining Norman in Hawaii, Giants receiver Odell Beckham, who also made his first. The Patriots, Cardinals, and Seahawks each had 7 players selected. And Oakland took number 1 Michigan to OT.
Forbes, yes! Bryn Forbes makes it a 5-point game with 30 seconds left in overtime.
On ESPN, it wasn't enough. Final score 99-93 Spartans. Around the nation, Xavier's off to a school's best 12-0 start.
Front rim miss. Musketeers looking to run 4-on-3. Sumner!
Xavier has just seized control of this game.
On ESPN, Edmund Sumner with the big dunk, 78-70 final over Wake Forest. And Iowa State survived a scare.
Nader a 3, yes!
Joel Nader from downtown with 11 seconds to go, and Iowa State in front 81-79.
The call from Learfield Sports. They beat Cincinnati 81-79. On the ice, Rangers beat Anaheim 3-2 in a shootout, as did the Panthers 2-1 over Ottawa. And in Winnipeg,
Backlund to Gaudreau. He shoots. He scores! Johnny hat trick.
On Sportsnet 960, The Fan, Johnny Gaudreau with his hat trick. Flames down the Jets 4-1 to the hardwood. Kobe with a big night.
15-foot fall away. Good. Kobe ties his season high with 31.
On KSPN, Lakers win 111-107 over Denver. I'm Dave Packer, ABC Sports.
Well, maybe that's what he's running.
All right. KMAS Shelton, FM 103.3 and KMAS.com, where you'll find us audio and video this morning, and welcome to it. A Wednesday, the 23rd of December, 10 past 8. I'm Dale Hubbard. On the hardwoods last night, boys basketball, Timberline with a victory over South Kitsap, 77-60. Also, Tumwater boys over Skyview last night by a final of 55-45. Girls hoops action last night found Timberline with a 46-25 victory over Fife, Black Hills over River Ridge 64-45, and Montesano 54-51 over Tumwater last night. And Shelton defeated North Thurston in wrestling 69-12. Also tonight, the Shelton High Climbers will be hosting Clover Park in the Mini Dome. We'll have that video stream of the game for you on KMAS.com. Cougars basketball team lose in the Classic holiday tournament going on in Hawaii to number 3 ranked Oklahoma. And the Huskies beat crosstown rival Seattle University last night in Heck Edmondson Pavilion, or whatever the heck it's called. Cougars, Miami, Sun Bowl, Saturday, 11 a.m., and we begin our coverage at 9. Kickoff is at 11. 20 minutes later, the Huskies will be kicking off on the other side of the great state of Texas, in the heart of Dallas Bowl, against Southern Miss. Now, the Cougs are 2.5-point favorites in their game against Miami. Huskies are like 16-point favorites over Southern Miss. I don't know what that's all about. Kind of crazy. 7, count them. 7 Seattle Seahawks are in the Pro Bowl honors for this year, and they include defensive end Michael Bennett, linebacker Bobby Wagner, cornerback Richard Sherman, safeties Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor, and our offensive all-stars Russell Wilson and rookie Tyler Lockett, who made the team as a return specialist, though case could be made he would make a fine wide receiver Pro Bowler, as would Doug Baldwin, who made the alternates list, did not make the Pro Bowl this year. Cliff Averill also as an alternate, along with Steve Hauska, the kicker, running back Marshawn Lynch, who's been out 5 weeks, and left tackle Russell Okung, all named as Pro Bowl alternates. Of course, all the members of the Seahawks that have been listed on those lists hope that they are just going to be noted as Pro Bowlers and not have to be suiting up for the game, which is scheduled the week before Super Bowl 50.
That's a big week. So we'll have the Pro Bowl that Sunday. The upcoming Saturday, I jump into the frigid waters here of the Alderbrook, in front of the Alderbrook at the Hood Canal.
I'll be there.
I know you'll be there. You're not jumping.
No.
And then Sunday is the Super Bowl.
We're going to try to GoPro it for you, folks.
Geek Pro.
And so you get first-person experience. So what we suggest you do is either stand in a cold shower.
Sure.
Or just pour a cold bath, ice bath maybe. Sit in there while Jeff jumps in. Or jump into your tub while he jumps into the canal.
We could do it all sorts of different ways. I had a great time doing it a couple years ago with the live first-person jumping.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cold, but it's a lot of fun. Yeah. That's February 6th. We got a ways before that one.
Yes, we do. It'll be a big weekend for you. And me.
Try to get some other folks from here to jump with me. 37 right now, mostly cloudy skies, thunderstorms, starting right about now for a little bit this morning. 35 hundredths of an inch of rain today, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all looking pretty darn dry.
Cold?
Well, right about 40,
okay.
But the lows are going to be in the low 30s.
Uh-oh.
So no precipitation, so no chances of snow, but it is going to be cold out there for the next couple of days. 37 right now.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email or Facebook. Now, from the southernmost tide pool of Puget Sound, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
All right, good morning to you. It's Daybreak here, KMAS, KMAS.com.
December 23rd, we are in our 2015 KMAS holiday giveaway, 462-1041, and give us a call this morning at 462-1041. Maybe you got a tooth bothering you.
Ugh.
Maybe you need your teeth cleaned. Whatever your dentistry needs are, Impressions Dentistry can make it a better world, and we have a $50 gift certificate to give them a try. They are located in Thurston County, so we're trying to talk to Jeff's peeps over there in Thurston County this morning to check out Impressions Dentistry. We've got a $50 gift certificate to them. We've got pairs of tickets to the Elma Wine Festival coming up January 23rd. A lot of fun there. Second Street Design, $20 gift certificate for that place, and $10 food certificates for LC3 and their steak night. I'm almost positive is Thursday night. I'm 95% sure it's Thursday night.
I think you're right.
And that is let me just suggest you try out the steak night at the LC3.
I mean,
and get a $10 discount while you're at it.
I'm using the word night loosely because you got to get there pretty early to make sure you get a seat so you can enjoy the steak.
Yeah,
people come from all over.
And by the way, it's a small place, so
that too.
Fills up quick.
Hi, good morning. Who are we talking to?
Good morning. You're talking to Barb.
Hey, Barb.
Hi, Barb, how are you?
Good. Good. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas back at you. We're doing our big holiday giveaway, so anything on our list that strikes your fancy?
I would like the 2nd Street.
The 2nd Street Design. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I've been getting my hair cut there for 25 years.
My gosh.
So you like it?
Great job. Yeah.
So you'll go back again and again and again?
I will.
All right, very good. Well, listen, I know you have family's a big thing for you for the holidays, so have a wonderful and joyous Christmas.
Thank you, both of you. Thank you for your fun show.
Oh, our pleasure. Really. We're glad we got something to do in the mornings. All right, Barb, we've got your name down here, and we have a certificate for you.
All right, thank you.
Have a good one, Barb.
2nd Street.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
8:17 now at KMAS, and it's just that easy to win. A little bit more on this Impressions Dentistry. It is on Martin Way in Olympia, and ranked at the #1 Olympia dentist is it Impression Dentistry.
You can't get better than one.
No, that is the best.
So here's
Great
a chance
reviews.
to give it a try, or you're contemplating switching. Maybe you had a less than stellar experience at your last dentist visit. And, I always felt bad. My dentist, great customer service, and would always call the night after you'd gone there to see how you were doing. If you had some kind of a procedure done.
Yeah.
And so I says, well, your hygienist, except, he says, well, was everything okay today? And I says, yeah. I says, I'm fine now. I says, but, except for the flossing by razor blades that your assistant did. And he goes, what? And I says, well, she was just so hard on my gums. I felt like I was getting raked over the gums with a razor blade.
Sure.
And I says, I may be exaggerating a bit, but you get the gist of it. And he goes, oh, man. Well, anyway, long story short, she doesn't work there. She didn't work there.
Gosh,
the next time I went back in 3 months or 4 months, she was gone. And now, not that it took her out of the career, I saw her surface again at another dentist office later.
Does she have any idea that you were the instigator?
No.
But I was just being honest,
Sure.
you know, and so
that wasn't necessarily the outcome you wanted.
No, I was just hoping, you know, so she'd be a little more gentle to the next person that came through, and just to be conscious of that, you know, and nothing wasn't radical, and my gums weren't bleeding when I left or anything.
Just hurt a little.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I was felt bad. Guilty. I'm confessing this morning on that one. So. 8:20. It is Daybreak with Jeff and Dale. It is the 23rd of December. We'll talk about this day in history and who you're sharing your birthday with. If you're so fortunate to have a special day so close to a real special birthday.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Your word at the Grays Harbor Fair and Event Center in Elma. Come enjoy wine tastings, a beer garden, food and vendor booths, live entertainment, and much more. It's open from noon till 9. Pre-sale tickets available now. Order through the Elma Chamber at 360-482-3055. You must be 21 to attend the 9th annual Elma Winter Wine Festival, January 23rd at the Grays Harbor Fair and Event Center in Elma.
I feel right at home on JohnLScott.com.
Hi, this is Dawn Pinnell from John L. Scott Real Estate here in Shelton. For a while now, I have been saying welcome home and sharing with you some great listings and some hopefully educational and interesting items of riveting radio real estate topics. We're moving our time slot to Friday at 8:55, right at the end of the morning show with Jeff and Dale. I hope you will continue to listen and that you will contact me with any of your real estate needs. I would love to help you say, I'm home.
Washington Health Plan Finder has extended its open enrollment through January 31st, 2016. You can still register yourself or a family for a health plan, and Mason General Hospital can help you get set up. Simply go online and visit masongeneral.com and click on the Washington Health Plan Finder on the homepage. Browse the various plans available, and when you find the one you want, let Mason General make sure you're qualified and help you sign up. Find the plan and call Susanna Lopez, Project Supervisor, at 432-7766. Washington Health Plan Finder. Open enrollment through January 31st, 2016.
Mason General Hospital and family of clinics. Equal opportunity provider. Translation services provided.
Mason General and family of clinics.
Start your mornings live and local with Daybreak on KMAS Shelton. Join Jeff and Dale weekdays from 6 to 9 on AM 1030 or FM 1033.
Impressions Dentistry is the #1 Olympia dentist you've been looking for. Dr. Saneet Bath has the expertise ranging from fillings to crowns, porcelain veneers, and bridges. He can literally redesign your smile. With affordable plans like a special 1 year of dental care for only $159, you'll be impressed with Impressions Dentistry. From the office staff to the care you receive, this is your new dental office. Call for an appointment today, 360-284-4288, or visit our website at olympiaimpressions.com.
Hi, this is Will and Laura Farr from Fiddlefest, and you're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
We got some bluegrass music coming in to talk about tomorrow, right?
We do. We do. So Greg Linder and Dwayne Wilson will be in studio with us to talk up our winter Bluegrass from the Forest concert. 3 hours at the Performing Arts Center on the Shelton High School campus on Saturday night. It's a Saturday performance, the 26th. Kind of exciting.
Yeah.
#1 in all the land, 1942.
42, huh?
Mm-hmm. You want to guess?
The name of the song?
Yeah.
Christmas. Rudolph.
You're close.
Just like the one.
You did have a good voice, didn't you?
I love it. We were listening to Christmas music
From
yesterday.
Spokane and Tacoma, Washington, Bing Crosby.
Very cool.
And he would top the charts again in 1945 and again in 1977.
I wonder why those years specifically.
I don't know. I don't have any answer for
Probably
you on
some
that one.
movies that came
I think
out.
45, perhaps because the end of the war was in sight, and
Everybody's ready to get out.
And White Christmas was more significant then after some tough Christmases.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. Also, 1964, Beach Boys made their first appearance on TV's Shindig. They sang Little Saint Nick, Dance, 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 Johnny Be Good, and Monster Mash. Boris Pickett did Monster Mash.
They do Monster
Why would the
Mash
Beach Boys?
2 days before Christmas.
It doesn't even make any sense.
And it's the Beach Boys.
Yeah. Wow. Who was producing Shindig? No wonder it didn't last. Probably a Dave Clark thing or a Dick Clark thing. No, I don't know. Shindig.
But
Hullabalooza, Shindig, and Where the Action Is. Those were the 3 half-hour music variety shows that were just sweeping the nation in the 60s. Oh, good stuff. Number 1 single in 64, I Feel Fine, by the Beatles. If you want to check it out online, you can, starting at 12:01 a.m. Christmas Eve.
That's right.
Stream all the Beatles.
Except for Pandora, I think every other
streamer is. Yeah, I think you're right about that. Is this Karen Shade?
Could be. Twice in one morning, aren't
This
you guys
is
lucky?
Karen Shade 2.0.
So you got all the way from Ruston Way to your offices on Olympic Highway South. I mean, I guess that was 6:30 that we talked to you.
How about 47? No, it takes me about an hour.
Okay. Very nice.
Sometimes a little more. Like the other morning, was it Monday?
Yeah, when it was all...
It was a little more nastier.
Yeah.
And going home 2 nights ago took me 2 hours.
Oh.
Okay, that part I did. Yeah, and that's even going the back way.
Wow.
Yeah, traffic was terrible.
What do you mean the back way? You get off at DuPont there and go
you get
around?
off. Yeah.
That's a great.
You just got to watch for a still to come police.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
I've had a ticket there a long time ago.
Oh.
No, nothing recent, I'm sure.
No. Oh, actually 30 years ago, so that's not too long ago.
Well, your picture's on the post
But
office
it
there.
stays in your head. You just know. I put cruise, 25, and then 30.
Well, be careful out there. No speeding now.
Hey, man, no. I promise.
Okay, it's time to, be joyous.
It is. The office is closed tomorrow and Christmas Day.
Okay, very good.
But I will do but no, I'm going to call tomorrow with the radar report. I'll do it from home.
Oh, thank you. That's nice of you to
The
do.
market's open. I need to call in, so I will.
Okay, all right. That's very nice.
And then what about next week for New Year's?
So next week, New Year's Eve, I'll call in. The office is closed. And obviously New Year's Day, the markets are closed.
All right. Yeah, we won't be here New Year's Day either.
Yeah. So, yeah.
All right, very good. And oil prices may go up. We understand they may have juiced the Wall Street this morning.
Yeah, they have a little bit. They have, all right? So U.S. stocks are trading higher for the third day as strength in crude oil prices is helping lift markets. Supporting the advance is a report that showed U.S. consumer sentiment rose in December to its highest level since July as consumers reported optimism in job growth, wage gains, and low energy prices. Separate data shows new U.S. single-family homes sales rose in November, rose less than expected, and the prior month increase was revised down. U.S. bond prices are trending lower with strength in equity. So far this morning, the S&P 500, the best-performing sector is energy, while the worst-performing sector is consumer discretionary. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 146 points at 17,563. The Standard & Poor's 500 Index is up 16 points at 2,055, and the NASDAQ Composite Index is up 34 points at 5,035. This morning, volume on the New York Stock Exchange is moderate, with 196 million shares being traded, and advancers are outnumbering decliners by a wide margin. In the commodity markets, the spot price of gold is down $2.85 to $1,069.64. The spot price of silver is up 3 cents to $14.30, and crude oil prices are up $1.54 to $37.68. In the bond markets, the 30-year Treasury yield is currently 3.01%, and the 10-year Treasury yield is currently 2.28%. Stocks of local interest, Amazon is down $5.27. Costco is down 33 cents. Boeing is up 76 cents. Starbucks is up 11 cents, and Microsoft is up 29 cents. This is Karen Shade of Edward Jones, member SIPC, serving individual investors with personalized attention and long-term financial advice. I'm located at 1051 Southeast State Route 3 in Shelton, and if you'd like additional information, you can contact me at 426-4590, and daily commentary is also located on our website at edwardjones.com. Have a great Wednesday.
listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Local news is brought to you by Fred Holmes Tree Service. FredHolmesTreeService.com, 427-4489.
You're listening to KMAS News Radio. I'm Marilyn Foster. A zoning correction opens the door for another grow operation. Yesterday, the county commission repaired another urban boundary designation, which split the property in two different jurisdictions, one half in the urban growth boundary and the other outside of the urban growth boundary. With the approval to correct the boundary, the owner went on to pursue a rezone of the property, the old Belfair Nursery property, from residential 4 zoning to a mixed-use designation. This designation, along with a development agreement, would allow the investors to expand the current use to make their operation bigger and better. According to Commissioner Netherland, the investors have invested $200,000 in the property and business and will bring much-needed jobs to the county. Commissioner Jeffries was cautious with her approval as she didn't want to give the appearance of spot zoning, which ultimately restricts the use of the property for the future. Commissioner Sheldon disagreed with the other two commissioners, stating he didn't want a repeat of the Sells Road property owners when odors got out of control. The rezone was approved 2-0. Mason PUD3 has received its 11th consecutive international recognition for the quality and completeness of its financial reporting. PUD3 was awarded the Certificate of Excellence in Financial Reporting for its 2014 Comprehensive Annual Financial Report by the International Government Finance Officers Association of the United States and Canada. The PUD is one of only 3 public utility districts in Washington state to apply for such recognition for its financial reporting. The GFOA says the Certificate of Achievement is the highest form of recognition in the area of governmental accounting and financial reporting. Its attainment represents a significant accomplishment by a government entity and its management. In addition to the 11 consecutive GFOA awards for financial reporting, the utility's operations are inspected annually by the Washington State Auditor's Office and have not been subject to a finding in over 36 years. A 55-year-old Belfair man was arrested and several grams of methamphetamine, prescription pills, marijuana, and nearly $1,400 in cash were seized at the Union River access area. Fish and Wildlife Officer Jay Summit initially contacted a male and female sitting in a vehicle parked at the access area that did not have a Discover Pass displayed as required. Officer Smith also noticed a glass pipe with white residue in the center console. He asked the driver, Mark Shockley, if there was anything else in the vehicle, and Shockley handed over a black bag from his seat. It contained suspected methamphetamine, small baggies, a scale, a bag of marijuana, white powder, and a glass smoking pipe. Shockley was arrested for possession of a controlled substance with intent to deliver. I'm Marilyn Foster, your local news at AM 1030 and FM 103.3, and always on KMAS.com.
'Tis the season to give, and Whitney Chevrolet wants to give you the best value for your trade. This is Doug Sample from Whitney Chevrolet, and we want to give you what you're looking for. If it's not on our lot, we can pull from our other lots. Whitney Chevrolet wants you to have the best value and the best price. It's all about giving this year. So give Whitney Chevrolet a call or stop by our lot, whitneychev.com.
A $150 negotiable document fee may be added to the price of all vehicles.
Just down the road to Whitney's.
Financial advice you can understand on the Dave Ramsey Show.
My grandmother, God rest her soul, used to give us Series EE savings bonds for our kids. It was for their college. Now you put these away for their college. Every so often she would ask me, how are those bonds doing? And I would tell her the truth. They're doing great, because I had cashed them in, and now that money was invested in a mutual fund in the kid's name, and they were doing great. Had I left them in those stupid EEs, they wouldn't be doing great. Hi, this is Dave Ramsey. Tune into my show weekdays from noon to 3 here on KMAS.
For News Radio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 103.3, we thank you for listening. We are also streaming audio and video this morning on KMAS.com. I'm Dale Hubbard. It is 8:33. And just like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, it's the Pro Bowl and the 7 Seahawks.
Hey.
You like that?
I do. That's a good one.
All right. Very good. And congratulations to our 7 honorees. Defensive end, Michael Bennett. Linebacker, Bobby Wagner. Cornerback, Richard Sherman.
Both are safeties, Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor, and quarterback Russell Wilson and rookie Tyler Lockett all made the grade. Defensive end Cliff Averill, just this close as an alternate, as was Doug Baldwin, having a historical year this year receiving, but yet just an alternate. Stephen Hauska, our kicker, made that list, as did running back Marshawn Lynch and left tackle Russell Okung, all named as alternates to the upcoming Pro Bowl on the 31st of January, a week before Super Bowl 50, and the Pro Bowl, as is always the case, in Hawaii. Plan a vacation, go watch the Pro Bowl. It's a little more fun nowadays because they do the two coaches, our celebrity coaches, Hall of Famers usually. Jerry Rice and Michael Irvin will be the team's the two ceremonial coaches, if you will, and they'll be drafting their teams on the 27th. So no one will know if they're playing for the white or the blue team or whatever.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, so it's a cool deal. It's very good. Doesn't matter if you're an AFC or NFC. He's just like, I'll take him, I'll take him, I'll take him, I'll take him. Okay, so it's very cool. That's it for that. Now, I did have another football note, and it's escaped me for the time being. Maybe it'll get back to me. I'm not sure about that. Cougars in El Paso, they arrived Monday. They're getting ready for the Sun Bowl, happens Saturday, and they take on the University of Miami Hurricanes. Two pretty evenly matched teams. A early 2.5-point favorite are the Cougars heading into the contest that starts at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're not in daylight savings time.
I don't know. I can't ever.
And so
Pacific.
We fell back. So wherever we're at,
just say Pacific.
Pacific time.
That's all I've given up trying to figure out which one's which.
Okay. All right. And
it's like being on the wagon or off the wagon. I mean, are you on the wagon and you're riding along happy, or are you drunk and you fall off the wagon?
Well, now there's a question.
And if you're off the wagon, it's just, it's just hard. There's never been, I don't remember like a day where I learned that. Okay. Much like a day where I learned what the difference between PDT and PST is.
How about terms that you use in basketball when you're calling games? You've learned a lot of that in the last couple of weeks. Baseline jumper. Jeff and I will be at the Mini Dome tonight, video streaming the High Climbers and Clover Park. We begin our webcast at 7 this evening on KMAS.com.
It's 37 right now, and thunderstorms are off and on throughout the day. Now 3/4 of an inch of rain. That picked up fast. And tomorrow, just 0.02 of an inch, and then hardly any rain all the way until Friday, the 1st of 2016. So things are looking good right now. It's 37 out there.
Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email or Facebook. Now, from the artesian waters of South Puget Sound, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
Hey, good morning to you. It is Daybreak here at KMAS, KMAS.com on a Wednesday morning. It's 8:30.
Yeah, we have our port of call, I think.
Yeah,
I think. About half of our group out there in the front. You got the money, honey. I got the time. Lefty Frizzell. #1 song in all the land in 1950. Why, a mere 65 years ago, I tell you.
Wait a second.
What?
If you've got the money, I've got the time.
Yeah.
Lefty Frizzell.
Yes.
That is eerily similar to the great Jerry Reed classic, She Got the Gold Mine, I Got the Shaft.
Yeah, very similar. I think Jerry's stole a little bit of...
I'm wondering.
Took a little...
artistic liberty.
Yes, that's what I was looking for.
I love that. I love Jerry Reed.
There is that going on. Foxy Lady. Jimi Hendrix Experience released that song on this date, 67. 68, Stand By Your Man from Tammy Wynette. Elton and Bernie formed a songwriting team on this day. They started writing songs together, 1969.
Jeez.
Meanwhile,
Meanwhile, in Tennessee, at Ridgetop, Tennessee, a home catches fire. The owner of the home is at a Christmas party in Nashville. Hurries home to Ridgetop, where we presume which is a suburb of Nashville, because he got home while the house was still in flames. He being Willie Nelson.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta get in there. Willie, the house is on fire. I gotta save Trigger.
The horse?
His guitar.
Oh, same name. I like it. Trigger.
And he was a big Roy Rogers fan. That's who the guitar is named after, is Roy Rogers' Trigger.
I believe you because you read that book.
Yes, indeed. Speaking of Trigger and his...
Uh-oh. Look at this.
Royal
Dick Taylor is
sidekick.
he sees that we have a video camera now, so he gets all huskied out for the big game this weekend.
You know, it's the far side of Dallas Bowl or some...
Far side. That's the name of it.
Well, that's because nobody knows what that is.
Let's start...
It's at the same time as the Cougars.
Yeah, like at 20 minutes later or something. What a mess that is. All right.
But it was pointed out last week that Husky fans wouldn't watch the Cougars game, and the Cougar fans aren't going to watch the Husky game. So
yeah, so we're good. All right, we're diving deep in the day before Christmas Eve or Christmas Day or something like that. Morning, guys. Merry Christmas.
Good morning. Merry Christmas.
I'm thinking John Dobson's collegiate allegiance must be to some school in California.
No, Oregon.
Oregon. Are you a Duck?
No.
Beaver?
Beaver?
No.
What else?
Portland State? Pilot?
No, I'm an
Pilot?
owl.
An owl?
Yeah.
What the hell are you talking about?
Oregon Tech.
Oh, man, I'd have never guessed that one.
Klamath Falls. Yeah.
Do they even have a football team?
They did.
Really?
Yeah.
Oregon
Tech
Oregon
Owls.
Technical Institute.
That's not where everybody goes to for firefighter training, is it?
OTI.
That's
OTI.
OTI down in
Nowadays,
Oregon.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, they had automotive engineering, and that's how I went to work for Toyota.
Okay.
Yeah, straight from there. Mm-hmm. There was two schools in the nation.
Next thing you know, he's on a Toyota-thon.
There we go. Yeah.
There you go.
How you guys doing as we wrap up the year?
Well, we did wrap up the year.
Did you?
Yep.
Yesterday?
Yesterday, we went to the county commission meeting and watched them approve the boundary line or the adjustment at the port boundary or in the marina boundary.
Yes.
Move it back out to the old.
Long time
position.
coming on that one.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
all right.
now we can go forward with our annexation plans with the city
Great.
and save some taxpayers some money
That's good.
and improve process.
That is
while
good.
We're doing it.
New commission in the city is starting up soon. You feel that the process will continue on as we've thought? New little makeup.
Steve Goins was there yesterday, so representing the
it's not
city.
gonna
So
change.
Good.
yeah, I think that's fine. The application's already been on file with them for 6 months or so. So anyway, yeah, I think that's going to work out just fine.
That'll be okay.
Yeah. Well,
Good.
yeah.
So now what's up? You
Well,
guys both have kind of a grin on your face here.
Well, I don't know. We got Christmas coming and we got New Year's, and that's what we're looking at right now.
Okay.
And then,
Yeah.
but in the new year, we have a new commission coming in,
Right.
commissioner coming aboard, so we'll continue on and get to know Commissioner Patterson, and she'll get to know us and how we do things, and we'll move on. We've got a lot of projects or a lot of conceptual things going on that we want to work on.
Mm-hmm.
The marina is one of them. The work down there. Up on the airport, we've got the new approach system that'll be installed by.
It's done.
Oh, it's already done.
It's done.
Yeah, that's right.
We're flying now. Yeah.
That's great.
So that's coming, but there'll be some stuff up there with the big the big subduction zone exercise will take place in the summer of 2016, which will be a very complex exercise with lots of people and equipment and stuff that'll be coming into
a lot of
the
prep for that, too.
Yeah, in
That'll be
Sanderson
involved.
Field. So
Yeah.
that's going to be going on. We've got some other projects that we're looking at that we're studying right now. Whether they come to fruition or not, I don't know. We'll know. We'll just see as we go along.
You'll let us know when you know.
Yeah. We'll let the public know when we know. That's
But we do have several companies that are coming online. In fact, two of them, AgriPack and Mayflower, two of our cannabis grow operations will start operation and hiring in January, so which is good. So,
Okay, so they're going to be up and running in January.
up and running, right.
So those are the two buildings that were built, brand new buildings up on Johns Prairie.
Right.
Yeah.
And is it EJR is the other one? His building will be finished should be finished actually this week or next week. And so once he gets approval from the state, he'll be hiring. So that's the third one that comes online. I was talking with Tony from ABI, which is one that's been there for about a year in the old Willapa Bay Hardwoods building. He's up to 17 employees already.
Oh, that's good.
So yeah, that's working along just nice.
So once you got your first grower producer in there, it seems like the doors have really opened up. So I guess the environment for that market is friendly at the Port of Shelton, seems like. And
it is.
People are talking to other folks, bringing them in.
It's really interesting. But, the one thing that people, I think, should always recognize, even though it is cannabis, and again, as I've said before, where I'm not going to get into the morality of that, and decisions were made, et cetera, but the state has now legalized it. But from our standpoint, it's still about operating a business. And I think a lot of people out there, they're always talking about how, oh my gosh, I could make thousands of dollars doing X, Y, and Z. But if you don't know how to run a business, you're still not going to succeed.
Right. Well, that is correct.
And so the folks that we look at, I think are I'll just say, have to meet some pretty tough qualifications. And most of our guys understand that. And, some are a little slower at the uptake than others, but it's a labor-intensive business. And
really is, yeah.
they're learning it. And so we're kind of excited about that in some ways, that it's solid, it's stable, and the people that we've chosen, I think, are going to be with us for a while.
Now, there's a lot. That's 4, 5 of those kinds of operations on your property. County's got one going on. Looking at the city's looking at annexing some areas and making that some more. Is the market sustainable here? Is there going to be plenty for everybody to be able to make a go of it? I guess we have no way of knowing that, do we?
Well, we don't, but I think there's an interesting website that the state puts out, and for the listeners, they might want to go to this, called i502data.com.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the state's web. And the amount of probably 2/3 of the people that the state has licensed will probably not be here a year from now.
Just not.
Again, back to the business model.
Yeah.
They don't understand that it's one thing to grow the plant, but it's another thing to harvest and to package and to meet the state standards and go through the I don't know if people recognize, but for them to come to market, they actually have to take it to a laboratory to be tested so that the THC content that you're buying, and then it goes into the package at that point. It's also tested for fungus.
Yeah.
So it's more pure. So I think about the medical marijuana side of things that was not so regulated in the past.
That is correct,
these community grows, et cetera. So again, what's coming to market now through our systems, the state system, I should say, it's high quality material. So again, and not the morality side of it, but
the market will drive it.
The market will drive it, and so you've got to have the business knowledge and along with the technical side.
Compared to some other rural counties, are we more than our fair share of grow operations, or are other counties doing more than us?
No, I think when you get over to Port of Willapa, they stepped into this thing just full-fledged.
Day one.
Day one, they jumped all over this. And, we had a lot of people talking to us, again, the issue with the airport, can you grow cannabis on, federally deeded lands, et cetera, and of course we stepped into that and got some information back that allowed us to go forward with that. But no, I wouldn't say we're any higher than any other county. I think we've done a good job of creating a, quote, campus, and keeping it in a confined area, giving them a place to grow, but at the same time, it's in a specific area.
Yeah.
No, we haven't gone beyond. I think there was, if I remember correctly, don't quote me on this, but I want to say there was somewhere around 65 to maybe 70 applications on file within the county for producer processor licenses. So I don't know how many of those actually came about. So, I mean, we've got 7 of them.
Yeah. This is a great website, actually. I'm on it right now. Mason ranks 9th in the state by county for the number of producer processors at 19 over the whole county. Spokane County is number 1 with 104, followed by King County at 50.
Yeah.
So Spokane County really going strong. The retailers, a little different there. King County is 41, whatever. We've got 4 or so. But this breaks it down. This breaks it down by amount per purchase by person. It's about $30 per person in the county spent on this in the last year. This is a great 502data.com.
i502data.com.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Interesting. So the Huskies are double-digit favorites in their game coming up.
First time, huh? in a long time.
In a long time. And they haven't been to a bowl for a while. And
Yeah, they went to a bowl last year.
Oh, they did, didn't they? Yeah.
They didn't do very well.
No, Sarkeesian doesn't even remember.
Well, yeah.
Jeez. On multiple levels.
In fact, he was gone.
He was gone.
Yeah, Tuiasosopo was the coach.
That's right.
Yeah.
He'd taken the Southern Cal job right before the bowl game.
Right.
Craziness. All right. So you feeling pretty good about your Son of Dallas or whatever it's called?
I don't know, Dallas Bowl or something. Yeah, salad bowl. I don't know. Yeah, it sounds good. Who's ever heard of Southern Mississippi, right?
The Heart of Dallas Bowl.
Heart of Dallas
there
Bowl.
It is. That's
okay.
Deep in the heart of Texas.
Well, it's a bowl game, and
that's right.
And the Huskies are 6-6 going into it, so they're lucky to be going to a bowl game at all.
And you can thank the Cougars for that.
And thank the Cougs for that. That's for sure. But it gives the kids a chance to play in another game.
Oh yeah,
and to move on.
It helps in their recruiting
build their recruiting base and what have you. So I think it's fun to do.
OTI going to any bowl games this
basketball?
Okay.
Yeah, they do good. They do good in basketball.
All right.
They've had some nationally ranked teams.
Serious?
Serious.
The Oregon Tech Owls.
Yes.
Okay.
Who else are the Owls around here?
Miriam Knight.
Miriam Knight. That's right.
Yeah. MM Knight Owls. The Night Owls. Get it? That's kind of cute.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. Well, listen, have a joyous holiday season.
And same to you guys. And your
do you want to roll back in here before the new year?
No, we're going to be
shut down?
Yeah, nothing's happened.
Okay.
All
right.
And you guys aren't going to be here either.
No, we'll be here tomorrow, and then
we'll be here next Thursday, Monday through Thursday.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're around, you don't have to talk shop. You can just pop in and recount some stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell some sea stories. We might do that.
Yeah. Bring a cigar.
Yeah, just hang out for a little bit. You can smoke in here if you want. We're revamping the whole thing.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Don't ask Jerry.
Yeah, don't ask Jerry. I'll be in trouble, or my wife.
Ask Dale, but but Jerry, no.
I see the couch hasn't moved.
Nope, still there.
Just checking.
It's out of camera range.
Oh, okay.
It's not on the side of a road somewhere.
Nice. The prop. Fellas, thank you so much. Thanks for a wonderful 2015.
Thank you.
Here's to a new year. And we'll chat a little bit maybe next week, just because we can. All right. 8:51 here on Daybreak. Thanks.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Christmas is a time for enjoying friends and family, for spreading cheer and goodwill. For LC3, it's also a time to send warmest wishes to the special people who they number among their friends and customers. Best wishes from LC3.
Greetings of the season from the folks at the Economic Development Council of Mason County. They wish you the joys of Christmas and prosperity throughout the new year. Again,
Best wishes and happy holidays from the EDC.
If you're looking for a new venue to watch your favorite sports, come check out the El Serape Cantina. Take in the classy Day of the Dead ambiance and enjoy your favorite sports on the large projector screen or 4K Ultra HD TVs. Warm up by the fire or shoot some pool on the beautifully crafted pool tables. Join the Cantina for Dollar Taco Tuesdays and bring out your inner rock star on Karaoke Wednesdays. With so much to offer, the Cantina is the place to be. Located on Railroad in downtown Shelton, right next to the El Serape restaurant.
Hi, this is Terry Allen with a look at the community calendar on KMAS. Nonprofits post your events on KMAS.com. The Mason County Senior Center is hosting a tour of the USS Turner Joy and the Puget Sound Naval Museum in Bremerton. $17 for members, $22 for non-members. It's Friday, January 8th. Contact the Senior Center for details. For KMAS News Radio, I'm Terry Allen.
Hi, it's Dale from the Daybreak Show, inviting you to join Jeff Slakey and myself every morning from 6 till 9. We have what we think is a pretty compelling mix of news, information, and interviews.
Hi, this is Dick Taylor from the Port of Shelton.
Hi, this is Mike Patty, Assistant Chief with Central Mason Fire and EMS.
This is Detective William Adam at the Mason County Sheriff's Office.
This is Commissioner Randy Netherland, and you're listening to Daybreak.
Daybreak with Jeff and Dale
on KMAS.
On KMAS.
On News Radio 1030 KMAS.
The Cougars are invading El Paso.
It's going to be an exciting ride.
Throws it to the end zone, intercepted by Washington State. It's the 2015 Sun Bowl. Washington State, Miami.
Has time. Throws it. Center of the end zone. Craycraft. Caught. Touchdown.
Listen this Saturday. Kickoff is at 11. Our coverage begins at 9.
It makes your heart pound, doesn't it?
On the Washington State IMG Sports Network.
Cool Saints.
Hi, this is Lynn Longan from Mason County Economic Development Council, and you're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
$8:55 at KMAS and KMAS.com.
You got the money, honey. I got the time.
Some other things happening here. Vincent van Gogh cut off his ear on this day in 1888. Does that seem recent to you? Vincent van Gogh, 1888.
Yeah.
Ooh, a rusty razor.
I remember it like yesterday. Are you kidding me?
Having a series of disastrous affairs.
Is that why he did it?
And, yeah. He took the gift, his ear, to the brothel where he had previously met
Rachel,
a lady named Rachel.
A prostitute named Rachel.
Handed it to Rachel, says, "Keep this object carefully."
She must have thought, now what did he cut off?
What did he say?
What's
I couldn't hear him.
here. She had to be very...
She had to have known. I mean, his whole side of his face probably bandaged.
What's all that blood doing on the side of your head?
And he goes, "Well, you're going to have to talk into my good ear." Which one's that? It's the one in your hand.
You know who? So we are familiar with the lounge singer Engelbert Humperdinck, right?
Uh-huh.
Some of people my age are. The original Engelbert Humperdinck roamed the land in the late 1800s. And his opera, Hansel and Gretel, premiered in Germany on the state in 1893. But I'm trying to remember what Engelbert Humperdinck's real name is. It's some boring name like John Brown or something. And he...
Arnold George Dorsey.
Okay. And so he couldn't make a buck singing.
Right.
He couldn't pay people to listen to him. So he changed his name to Engelbert Humperdinck, and the next thing you know, headliner in Vegas. Star. Yeah.
Him, yeah. My in-laws met him at the Lucky Eagle. Do you remember that? When they were he was doing that show?
Yes, I remember that. Yeah. They did a meet and greet.
Rick Lene and Grandma Anna.
Engelbert. Can I call you Bert?
Met Engelbert. They loved it. They had such a great time.
Loved Engelbert.
Oh, it was great.
That's funny. That's cute, though, actually. That's not a bad deal.
I think they had a really fun time.
The Visit from St. Nicholas released the poem by Clement C. Moore, published in the Troy Sentinel, upstate New York, and, of course, better known to one and all as The Night Before Christmas.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
That's a great poem. You ever do that? Read that for the kids?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Maybe I'll read that to Kaiser tomorrow night.
Next year, the KMAS players may present a radio version of...
Who are these players you're talking about?
Well, we're going to fill in the blanks during the course of 2016. Stay tuned. Have a great day, folks. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. It is rotten to have a birthday during the holidays, or is it? A look at the pros and cons today from the Old Farmer's Almanac.
I was coming out of the hardware store when I saw him. An old man, late 70s, hunched over in the freezing rain, no hat on his head, limping across